are live. And so, to recap last time on Dragon Ball Z, we had a kawaii desk right here in my camera. Yaha! Basically, you guys, met up with some bad shit in the Gulch, and then you effectively made your way out of there with some gnome bodies. One of them dead, two of them unconscious, but you smuggled some corpses and recovered the pieces of the grenade. So, you then left to get a little distance away from the gulch itself to then spend the night on the trail, making camp, where you slept through the evening. And I guess Azzy apparently put it in one of the unconscious gnomes. I guess I don't know. I'm not really sure how to read that particular.
That sounds horrible the way you just phrased it.
An entire module's worth of time to make up for with my man.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my.
That dragon ass is mine.
I'm pretty sure Miss 18 bajillion hit points would have something to say about that.
I don't give a fuck. Am stronger, will pin down.
I don't think you're stronger anymore, are you?
I have a 17, so it doesn't really matter.
Is this where we have to start doing strength checks?
Technically, the modifiers are tied, but technically he is stronger because his number is bigger.
I wasn't sure if that's what you boosted on because I didn't remember you being at 17.
But see, the question then becomes is, does she get advantage on strength checks while raging?
Yes.
I don't think she can rage while I'm, boning him, so.
I beg to differ.
I'm pretty sure there's a rage button that he has.
She'd be too heartbroken, it's fine.
Yeah, not to mention the way that you roll for Azzy, I'm pretty sure you would still fail the check.
That's fine.
So...
It's fine. Yeah.
Not wrong.
I'm into this whole, let's do it thing.
Oh, wow. All right, so areas we will never go. All right, so... so it is the next morning. There was no incidents that evening. You awake. You're there at camp. I assume you effectively eat something and plan to pack up and continue on your way back with the two gnomes that you have in tow.
Yes.
But yeah, otherwise, basically, you got out of there and you got to this camp. You had a good sleep and nothing happened, and so there you go.
So how far do we make it before something does happen?
I'm hoping we at least get to Leyland first.
Before that, I do have one thing I wanted to say before that I did after waking up before anybody else did.
Go ahead. I know there was a lot of discussion about spells and stuff, so.
Yeah, I was gonna practice with. Can't remember what spell it was gonna be, but it was one of my lower ones. I think maybe not. I don't remember what I was gonna do, but I was gonna do some practice with one of my. Oh yeah, I was just gonna use the innervation. Just practicing building up the spell to get a better feel for the necrotic energy while doing it. Just working with that a bit. I have to have a goal I need to work towards, and I haven't been doing that yet.
Fair enough. So you mess with the forces of necrotic power.
Yeah, nothing can go wrong. It'll be fine.
It's fine. No, it's fine. Whatever.
I mean, if Blackwind can float 20 feet in the air and do it, why can't you? Right?
It's fine. All right, so...
More bodies, I am not going to be happy.
Don't worry, I didn't take the animate dead.
I also want to...
I didn't use that spell.
We're all packing in the morning and getting ready to, I guess, head out or whatever. Holly is busying herself with her continued writings, Junie.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to make rolls for any of that or not,
No,
but
I'll
like
just track the progress.
time, so
I'll track the progress of your. I guess I don't really know.
progress.
Yeah, I'll call it progress. I was gonna say something like transcription, but it's not really transcription per se. So
Okay, that's it. I just want to continue working on that.
cool.
I am just packing things up. That was the first actual night's sleep I've had in like 48 hours. So I'm happy.
Yeah, Holly slept like the dead. She didn't wake up at all.
Yep.
Duly noted.
I mean, if you just want to wake up never, I can help with that.
No, you can't.
True, I probably don't have enough damage for that.
You can try.
Nobody does.
That statue almost did, to be fair.
Yeah,
Could've.
me, but not her.
But she also got pretty low, didn't she?
I did get pretty low.
I do not have enough DPR to kill Holly, even if I tried.
I could try, but then she'd like dodge all my spells, and they do no damage.
In order, in order to one-shot Holly, it has to be a cinematic event where there's like no rolls and the DM's just like, so this is how this plays out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't tempt John.
Where you try to like,
you
you try to spring from crumbling stone to reach up and catch her, and you're like, no, and then fall into like a vat of acid or something. That's basically the only way.
Wait. Just do a forceful teleport. So long as she fails the save, I can just go like 2 miles up into the air and then slowly levitate down myself while I drop her.
I mean, but
You realize that if she gets angry, that counts as bludgeoning, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
but then
the
then you can have an angry
Yeah,
Holly
but
by you.
but
I
what
mean,
if what
half
if
of
she
600 d6 is
what if she grapples you in the
Her
air?
turning into a bird.
Because if she grapples you in the air, she could theoretically land on you.
this is true.
And she has a lot higher strength than you.
Anyways, we digress. We digress. In hypothetical depth.
There will be no party killing of Holly. So
I love that we
Yeah,
all just
only-
got dogpiled on Holly though.
Only of Azzy.
I mean, if he plays his cards right. So, um, so you pick up camp, and everybody's kind of ready to hit the road again. The gnomes are looking in slightly better condition. They are not quite conscious yet. However, they are in much better shape than they were when you first found them. They are showing signs of kind of fatigue and slight stirring from their current state. Maybe that they are a little feverish at this point in time, but otherwise they are not dead and not just like totally out of it.
Okay.
At least for 2 or 3.
Can't do much with. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, you can't exactly do much with a dead body. Well, I mean, you can,
one-
but
There's
How
one
much-
thing
how
we
much-
could do,
How much does it cost to raise the dead?
it's
A
quite a
lot.
bit.
Quite a bit.
which kind of raising the dead.
You gotta remember, you're not on Cower anymore, though.
The holy kind, damn it.
Oh, no. Sorry. That's like 500 gold if we're within a 10-day span. Well, a
So-
diamond worth 500 gold.
Right.
Yeah, how much does resurrection cost?
A bunch.
Or
It's
raise
like-
dead?
7th level is like a 1,000 gold diamond. And I think maybe something else as well to go with it.
So you find yourselves here at a kind of rough trail in the woods, where you are now ready to return on your trip. I assume you embark to return to Leyland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I keep looking over the casing of the bomb. I let someone else hold the key just for safety's sake. But just studying the runes on it some more.
Azzy is at the fore, leading the wagon back. His sword and his shield equipped. Kind of just moseying about. Ready,
I have
alert for
my-
signs of danger.
I have my horse up to the wagon. I'll just be in it while looking over the orbs. I'm not just drifting off into nowhere, away from everybody.
Fair enough. Fair. Good plan. A good plan. Yep.
I'll be tending to the 2 gnomes and also to body.
Where are you? You're a ghost.
He's making food.
He ascended beyond physical
Exactly.
form.
So, anyways, yes, you begin your progress. Let me get my little cool drawing pen out with a cool color that's not all that cool. And so we begin our little rest here, and we begin following our path back to Leyland. And we arrive. And it's probably about like 10, 11 in the morning, give or take. And we roll up into town. Huzzah!
As he immediately makes for the which one's the biggest one? The
The
Lathander?
council?
The Lathander
Yes.
Shrine.
Shrine of
Mhm.
Lathander.
After removing the corpse from the wagon and putting it on a saddle.
Oh. Okay. Get rid of the dead body as soon as possible. I get you. Wouldn't want any evidence kicking around.
A little bit more than that.
I was gonna say. As one way of doing it, but it might be something else.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. So you make your way to the shrine. Great. And everyone else just basically rolling into town. You're gonna saunter.
I'm a head towards the mage's tower. I got some questions I need to ask of people that know that tower.
Okay.
I'm gonna head towards the Shrine of Lathander as well.
Okay.
Because got some questions and I want to check over Gallo.
Okay.
I'm going to. I want to head to the council members that had previously been spoken to about these plans.
Okay.
I was gonna head there as well just to report what's
All right.
going on. So
Duly
I'll be with
noted.
I
Holly.
do let Knockers and Addy both know that I'm headed to the tower to check on a possible way of helping us get back quicker for when for while we're doing this.
Okay. Very well. So first and foremost, I guess let's go to the Shrine of Lathander. So one of you comes bearing bodies. One of you comes seeking information. So I assume as you show up with the gnomes seeking, medical attention for the 2 that are unconscious or semi-conscious, and to dispose of the body of the 3rd.
I'd actually like to inquire about resurrecting, if this
Okay.
shrine is capable of that,
Okay.
because I feel like this gnome died in service to Leyland. So for Leyland to pay it back would be a good deed turned, so to speak,
Let me just
or
check.
returned.
Let me just check if that is involved with the services capable of the shrine. It is not.
Then I would ask for them to provide body preservation services.
Very well.
I don't know gnomish culture as well as I probably should, being that I've worked with them several times in the shipping industry. But I'll wait. I'll ask for assistance in the recovery of the 2 and preservation of the body should the 2 that, once they're fully recovered, wish to escort it back to Nomengard, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, and I've got money to throw at that, but I'll ask them to name their price for the service.
So, effectively, to look after the 2 that are injured, they will not charge you anything because, granted, that is kind of the way of their god. So that is not something that they'll charge you anything for. The preservation and kind of keeping of the body of, the other gnome. They're also not going to charge you anything for the body simply because it's a right of custom, more or less, for the gnomes, and they will see to the proper execution of those rites and keep the body for travel or transit back to wherever the other two may want to take it.
Then I would like to offer a donation for their services of 100 gold.
They will aptly and appreciatively accept.
And after that business is concluded, I will turn to Blackwind and await thy question.
Very well.
Blackwind is kind of just wanting to inquire after the state of Gallo, mainly because she originally arrived in town to speak with him in the first place. So she wants to be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? What's the status update with him? Like,
So the priests let you know that Gallo is conscious again, and that he is, still in recovery. He is effectively still bedridden, isn't able to walk around, but he is currently in recovery. So you could speak with him, should you wish to.
okay. In that case, that was my main objective because I felt kind of bad showing up, in the middle of what was essentially a small crisis in the town where the town wizard was kind of like, thunk, not there. And then all of a sudden, heroes are like, oh shit, what's going on? So, I would see, do I actually have any money? That's a great question. Probably not. I do not. I was gonna make a donation as well, but I don't really have anything. So in that case, I'll just thank them for their time, and I'll go back to the tavern to wait on everybody else.
Okay, very well.
I would like to talk to Galio, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, you totally
So,
can if you'd like.
as this is Azzy's first encounter with him since leaving, he approaches and he'll ask Galio, of course, if he's well and if he knows what happened to him.
So Gallo basically from bedside, looks up at you and it's like, well, I am about as well as one can imagine, given my particular circumstances. As far as what occurred, I know not.
So, will you be returning to your tower soon then?
Once I am capable, yes. There is still much work to be done.
Is there any way we can assist your recovery?
Not at this time. It just will take time for my body to mend.
As he nods and kind of smirks. Do you require any books to keep you occupied in your time?
Well, now that you mention it, he does ask for you to see if you can bring a couple of tomes from the tower for him that he gives you the names of, many of which you feel like have no meaning to you.
I write them all down and smile, give him a slight bow, and say with as much sincerity as he can muster, I'm extremely sorry for what has befallen you, and I hope to see you recovered soon.
Well, I thank you.
You've done much for us, and I hope that we can return the favor. And he gives him another smile and turns and takes a flask out of his chest piece, places it on the table, says, I don't know if you drink, but if you want to sleep well, try a swig or two of that.
I will certainly keep it in mind.
And he walks out and starts heading towards the tower of House Thalavar.
Yep. Cool. Very well. Alright, so then we will arrive at the council chamber where Holly and Nokris are checking in, so to speak, with the council members that sent them on this mission.
I will kind of I'll be writing the entire time that we're walking to find these council members, and I'll just kind of wave Nokris ahead to let him speak to them first. But I'm continuously writing the entire time.
Okay. Fair enough.
So I will. Are they in their normal council chambers, or?
They are. Yep. Basically, at the moment, they have some riffraff that are disputing some, docking fees and which particular sloop they're supposed to be moored at and all that, blah, 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 whatever. It's kind of whatever. And they look very bored.
If I happen to see Griselda there, I will try and get her attention.
You do.
In regard to things.
Yep, you do. And she notices you kind of signaling to her, and she will kind of quickly bring the matter to an end, basically saying that the individual who had wrongfully taken a particular mooring needs to relocate to where they were previously, despite the fact that it is an additional 40 yards from where they are currently moored. And that the individual that held the position prior and had failed to pay in a timely fashion will in fact return to said individual the difference of the mooring costs, yada yada. And so the judgment is done. And she motions for you to approach.
Alright. I will approach and say, Council, we have gotten the pieces for the Gnomon Guard grenade that the gnomes delivered. There was unfortunately a casualty among the what's the word I want to use? The guard for it.
Entourage.
Entourage. And the two others are still unconscious at this point. They were attacked by a couple of werebores and what also appears to be a dark undead entity in the area, much like what we have been dealing with bone claws or something, Junie, if I remember their name right.
Bone claws, yeah.
Bone claws, which are not to be trifled with in any sense of the word.
Well, that is quite a development. I'm fortunate to hear that you did in fact recover the grenade, and that the journey was not for nothing. A little distressed to hear the undead is this far north, however. So we may want to seek some additional defenses, potentially.
We are planning to make our way towards Neverwinter after this, but we decided to stop in here first due to the two unconscious gnomes and their need for medical aid. While I can provide some first aid on the road, I don't have the necessary facilities that a shrine or a bustling town might have in my small satchel.
Very well, very well.
And what of news here? Anything that has happened in the past 48 hours since we've been gone?
Nothing much. The area seems to kind of be tense with the potential of at any moment, the gathering forces of the undead may seek to strike at us, or the individuals that were here prior with the ships have since set sail for Neverwinter to see if they can seek their own audience with the Lord himself for additional aid. So if you wish to attempt the journey, you may have to take the road, or you may have to see about your own sea fare.
Understood. Do you still need us to go and petition the Lord of Neverwinter, if that ship already left, or?
Well, it was not necessarily our particular instancing or offering of the mission itself. It was the merchants that, had paid the way, and they are the ones that are currently seeking audience with the Lord himself, so I can't be sure. They may sway his hand. He may bring additional aid, however, I am not certain. But I don't feel that your presence would necessarily be required at this time, unless you specifically want to seek audience yourselves.
Understood. I'll bring it up with the others, though at this time, we'll see. Any word on Galio and his condition at all?
Word from the shrine is that he has regained consciousness, but is still much worse for wear. You will spend probably at least another few days in the bed himself, unable to rise, and otherwise he is conscious, and he is alert, but will be bedridden for a while still.
Understood. We'll be sure to pay him a visit after this.
Very well.
But that is all I have for updates on my end, I think. Holly wishes to have a word with you all, though. As I kind of turn to her.
Hearing her name, Holly will kind of like jerk up from writing.
Mm-hmm.
She's still going the entire exchange. And she'll kind of straighten her armor, try to make herself look a little bit more presentable. And she'll walk up to as close as she can get to one of the podiums. Council members, you are aware, yes, of what happened in the tower.
We are, yes.
And you are aware that one of our own did not make it out of the tower.
Yes, we are aware.
This one that did not make it back with us. She was in talks with someone. I do not know who. She did not speak of this matter to us very frequently. But she had plans.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The school.
Yes. I do not know how much she has given you of her plans, but I sat with her for quite a long while and watched her draw these. And Holly takes out all the sheets of paper that she has of plans that she may or may not be accurate on from her time with Talia and the inn and just watching her.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just kind of messily place them on one of the podiums or desks or whatever. I do not know how far she has gotten in these plannings, but this is everything that I can remember. And possibly more, but this is what I have for now.
Well, she kind of looks over the papers. These will certainly be helpful for sure. I will ensure that these get to the city engineer so we can properly size and space the area for the building to be constructed and follow the plan as well as we're able.
And I apologize for not knowing, but and I realize it may be a delicate topic, but had you and Miss Talia spoken of funding?
Well, there was some initial seed money, yes, that had been placed, and that should have gotten things underway. And so we have well enough to proceed and get the actual location constructed. However, going forward, it will require some additional funding, and I'm sure we'll be able to work that out either through taxation or another means.
Before she even finishes her sentence, Holly is taking out a bag of already sorted out and counted out 200 gold, and she puts it on the podium with the rest of the papers.
I see. Okay. Well, that will certainly help to keep it going for quite a little while.
Good. I will try to remember more of her plans if possible, and I look forward to seeing what you do with the school.
We will be sure to apprise you of our progress.
Is Griselda nearby?
Yes.
I'm gonna reach into my bag. I'm gonna take out some of the wearboard jerky. And I'm just gonna give her a piece and I'm just gonna walk out.
Okay.
It is very good.
Will kind of look at you questionably and be like, okay. Thank you.
It is very good protein.
Understood. She will kind of gingerly take it and place it, next to her, but not actually consume it in front of you.
You know what? I'm just gonna stand there and wait. I'm gonna do that thing that Toothless does and How to Train Your Dragon. Look at her. Look at the meat. Look at her. Look at the meat. Look at her.
Oh man.
So, alright, so Griselda will kind of grab it and bring it up to her face and take a little sniff of it and be like, okay, it doesn't smell terrible, alright. And go to take a little bite of it and try to, pull at it because it's jerky, so it has a little give. It's a little tough. And, tears a little piece of it into her mouth and starts to chew and kind of develop the flavor before realizing it's really not good. And she's just kind of like, oh, yeah, thank you, yeah, kind of chewing it repetitively, not actually swallowing, but continuously chewing a lot.
Very welcome.
I knew Griselda wasn't a swallower.
God damn.
I'll just kind of clap her on the shoulder a little bit. You are a very good sport. And then I'll just walk out. I'll leave the poor lady alone.
She will not swallow the piece when you leave. All right, so there you have it.
Walk out.
All right, we didn't hear any of that at all, D, because you're muted. So I'm hoping that you didn't want us to hear any of that.
You didn't actually have to physically hear it. You all heard it in your head as I was doing.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose that's true.
That's what chewing the fucking jerky sounded like.
Maybe. Okay. Okay. All right, so then we turn to Argo, who has arrived at the House of Thalvar.
Best girl.
It is
Salavar?
House of Thalvar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the
I didn't know Salavar was the best girl.
No, Argo, damn it.
It's under fairly heavy guard.
Just realized these guards probably don't recognize because I haven't been here Argo in like forever.
Yeah, they do kind of stop you at the door and ask you, what business do you have here?
I was wondering if there had been word of Master Gallio's condition.
Yes, we have heard that he is conscious once again and is still resting, bedridden at the shrine, and he will return to his station once he is able.
That's wonderful news. He's really a credit to the mages of Neverwinter.
If you say so, yes. And as you are effectively, sitting there being kind of dismissively interrogated by this guard at the door, Azzy will show up.
I'll nod to the guards, but won't really acknowledge them beyond that. Kind of just grabbing Argo's arm and wandering inside.
Bye, friends.
So you kind of make it past the first set of guards, but once you're inside the door, you're stopped for them to inquire, "What business do you have here in the tower?"
Galio requested some books from his library. I'm here to collect and deliver.
Aha, I see. Very well.
Would you like to go get them, or is it okay if I go?
You may go. It's on the second floor. Stay within the library and be quick.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I'll go up to the library and collect my books.
Very well.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the library too.
Okay.
Just gonna stick back and think right now. Then I'm gonna. I can't remember the actual layout of the building.
So, first floor is basically a couple offices and a central room. Second floor there's a corridor, a narrow corridor that has the library offshoots on the sides, and then at the far end has a stairwell that goes up to living quarters for, at the time, Thalabar. And the other side basically comes up and has a hallway, has another couple side rooms for storage. And then there is a fourth floor, which is where the actual beacon presence is in the tower.
Okay. I don't know. Because my plan was to look on the first floor, but they seem more aggressive. I should have waited to talk to the part. I expect him to be awake, so.
What are you trying to do?
I was gonna see about if there had been a teleportation circle in the tower, but I assume that would probably be on like the first floor if there was one. Just because teleporting up onto the top of the building seems like a not great idea, and even the wizards are not always great at having good ideas.
Yeah, we've already done that once. Remember? We yeeted ourselves 60 feet outside of the
Yeah, but
tower.
that's why you have a circle. That way you have a spot to hone in on instead of just the general area.
Also, that was plane shift, not teleport.
It's the
I
same
mean,
thing.
here's the thing: a teleport can be worse for you if you do it without a set circle.
Can be.
You can roll that D100 and see what happens to you.
So, in addition to the books, I'll also grab some loose pieces of parchment and some ink and quills if they're lying about. If not, then I'll provide them myself. I am a map maker, so I'm sure I have
can
those
provide
materials
some
on me.
Yeah,
I'll-
I would imagine you'd want to provide them yourself because I don't know how well that they would take to you. Just kind of pilfering some writing materials.
I mean, if anybody asks, I'll be glad to explain. You know, dude's
Are
fucking
you the one
bedridden.
denying Galileo his things?
It's one thing to say you're there to bring him to him. It's another one to say you're just taking it.
I mean, I am just taking it.
Taking it to him.
It's all about the phrasing.
I'll provide like 6 ounces of ink though for him to use for writing.
So we collect the books, and that's actually all I do. Like, I don't linger or anything.
Very well.
Because it does seem like they've got this place under lockdown. But on my way out, I'll ask, what actually happened? Why is there so much guard on this place now?
Well, the tower is effectively under lockdown, like you noted, mostly because the wizard is not here to see to its magical presence and defenses, and he specifically asked us for this heightened defense while he is not present.
Well, that's as good of an answer as I'm liable to get. So, thank you for your time and your vigilance.
Thank you.
And we leave. As I'm walking out the doors, I fart though, just to crop dust them.
Okay. All
It's
right.
called a power move.
Assert dominance passively.
Don't you mean assert
By
dominance
existing.
gassively?
Gassively, yes.
Once we have the books, I'll make back for the Shrine of Lethander.
I'll join as well because if he's awake, I can just ask him a question instead of trying to find it myself.
Probably a good plan.
I just expect him to be awake within like 24 hours.
All right, well, so you make your way back to the shrine, and you find that Gallo is there, ready and welcome to accept your books that you have brought him that he asked for, so that he will not be stir crazy.
I'll pull a table over from wherever I can and place the books next to him. And I'll also pull out some of my own paper and some ink and place it down, just in case. Just in case the urge takes you to.
Just in case, you want to write a couple spells down, or a novel, or a journal, or anything.
An entire spell book.
just here you go, my dude. Here's some paper.
After that, I'll leave Argo to ask her question.
Master Gaia, it's wonderful to see that you're recovered, or is recovering from what I had heard was a rough experience.
You could say that, yes.
I was wondering if you knew much about the magics involved within the teleporting?
I do, yes.
I've been curious because within the circles I've seen so far, they've been each one's even just as copying down the images themselves, they felt like they have been, and I'm wondering then if the tower has one, because it feels like it might, but that could just be the beacon's own interference.
Ah, yes. See, you are very wise to note that there could in fact be something anchoring there that would draw you for teleportation. However, you are also correct that the beacon itself has plenty of interference with the direct anchoring of a circle, which is why a circle is not present there. Such travel to and fro directly within the tower, I would say, is best left to dimensional travel.
I'm glad to know I was right about the beacon's difficulties. I will let you get your rest, and thank you for answering that question for me.
Very well, thank you.
Our plane ship got thrown out the side of the building by that stupid beacon.
Okay. Very well.
I will mention, as me and Holly are leaving the council members' chamber, is she still writing in her book, or has she kind of stopped with that for the moment?
Holly,
She is, in fact, still writing.
Yeah, Holly is still going ham, I think, as much as she possibly can for literally anything in her mind involving Talia and the school.
Holly?
Yes? She looks
Definitely
up.
not.
Here, sorry, I was getting something.
No, it's okay.
No, you're fine.
She answered you in my voice, though. I want you to know.
Yeah, just yes.
I'll look at her as she's continuing writing. I'll kind of like tap her on the shoulder so I actually have her attention. You did hear that Galio is now awake, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure, since you seem very preoccupied at the moment.
I had little doubt that our friend would one day wake up again. Galileo is too stubborn and focused on his own research to let the little thing like having a soul distract him.
That is very true. Shall we go and pay him a visit?
I think that's a good thing.
Good. Let's go do that. And also, don't run yourself ragged on this as well. You have time. As I imagine, I can kind of see what she's writing as I'm looking.
Oh, you were there. You could hear the thing. So
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to make sure it's the same thing.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Holly just kind of snorts at him and keeps writing. Walking.
I just shrug my shoulders and continue on as we head towards the shrine.
Okay.
Tell me what to do. I'm my real dad.
Wasn't so much telling as in just
I
like
thought
a
you
gentle
still call
thing
him
of you
Daddy.
have time. You don't need to run yourself into the ground.
So, you both arrive at the shrine while you
I
kind
heard
of bump.
that, Avril, by the way.
Didn't even hear part of it.
When you run into the others, basically, hanging out there at the shrine, preparing to depart, having delivered gifts unto thee, well, unto he.
I do have my journal out writing down about the beacon interference that it causes.
I'll turn to Azzy. Is he still well enough to see 2 more visitors?
I imagine that he'd welcome the company. He was stir crazy enough to ask for books.
That is good to know. We have some things to discuss possibly once we get back to the tavern for the evening, but the council is informed of the relative success of our journey, so we'll rendezvous back with you at the Umber Hulk, and discuss things further there, but I think we're going to pay Galileo a visit for now.
As he nods. I have some business before Torvers closes, so I'll be there if I'm not at Umber's.
Sounds good. Oh, also, do ask the merchant if they are all set with their beseeching of the Lord of Neverwinter, since that was the last thing that we needed to possibly do. Excuse me. And his answer might provide the answer that we need for the other thing we needed to discuss.
So be it. Enjoy your visit.
Alright, so we've got Nokris and Holly currently now visiting with Gallo. We've got Argo, I guess, still there, because probably not leaving with Ezzy to go to Torver's post. Unless you would like to.
At the shrine, I'm just going to sit back near one of the corners of the shrine, just looking on towards Galio and Holly and Nokris, but I'm going to sit back for however long a short rest is to arcane recovery, that slot I used earlier practicing my magic.
Okay, so an hour's
Cool.
time. And then Blackwind, you were in the shrine before, basically checking in on Gallo, and then do you want to just kind of hang there still? Or do you
I thought I had said I was heading back to the tavern actually,
right.
because I'd kind of assumed that was where everybody would rendezvous. So.
Yes, you did. So you will be the first individual that is present at the tavern, effectively getting things started.
Yeah. I assume I probably would run into Azzy, or not Azzy, whoever it is that was on their way to the shrine next. That way,
Yeah,
like, once I'm on my way out.
It would have probably been Holly and Nokris coming the other direction from down on the docks where the council chambers are.
Yep.
So they are aware of where you are going, and you are aware of where they are going.
Yep. Just gonna go hang out at the tavern. I
Okay.
just wanted to check on somebody because guilty conscience. So
All good. So you will be there. All right. So Nokris and Holly, you arrive to visitate with Gallo.
You want
I
to go
am
first?
immediately going to sit on the bed next to Galio, like literally right beside him as much as I possibly can. And I'm
Okay.
just gonna prop my feet up on the bed. I'm just gonna sit there hanging out with him, eating some werepig jerky. Galio,
Yes.
what was it like when you didn't have a soul?
Well, I can't really say that I know or can say that I have experienced it so much as individuals have told me that I experienced it. But I can tell you that the after effects of kind of regaining one's soul is not as pleasant.
Would you like some pig jerky?
I believe I will forego for the
But
moment.
it will
Thank
make
you.
you very strong.
Oh, it may, but right
Look,
now.
Galio, look at me. And I get up on the bed, like standing on the bed, and I flex.
Ah, yes, very impressive. However, my stomach at the moment is much more, how do you say, sensitive, as I am currently in recovery, so I'll stick with the lighter foods that are being provided by the shrine until I am of proper shape.
I could put the pig jerky in some soup, and it'll get really soft.
I perhaps speak with Marigold about that, maybe to uh, preserve and potentially serve it for me.
I did. Marigold liked it a lot too.
Oh, I see. Well, perhaps it would be best left with them then.
Just
Looks
like,
kind of
"Fuck this shit."
disappointed, but she'll sit down next to him, and she'll kind of pat him very gently on the shoulder. I, for one, am very glad that you are back with us, Galio.
Ah, yes, I am also quite glad that I am living once more.
It is good to see you back in the realm of the living, to say the least.
Well, yes, I suppose something as simple as a soul couldn't keep me from my work for too long.
I would like to think a soul is anything but simple.
I kind of
Oh,
give Knockers a look.
yes, you're probably right.
Suffice to say, I'm happy to see that you're well. But I do have a couple of things to discuss with you. Has anyone informed you of what happened specifically with the tower after you collapsed?
Only bits and pieces. That you were able to get my body out, I believe, with shifting planes, I believe. That was how it probably was done, which was good. However, probably not very well executed in terms of placement. That's no fault of the individual who did it. It was a spur of the moment thing. But as far as the fate of the ruined stone, I am not sure.
To be sure, you can thank Holly for your very safe and comfortable landing compared to my own.
Oh, he
I
kind of
flex again.
he looks over at Holly. He's like, well, I thank you then for the soft landing, as I'm being told.
Galio, I turned into a giant bird, and I made sure you landed very safely.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes.
You did. In terms of the ruined stone, it is still back in the pocket dimension where it was removed from its pedestal. We did not bring it with us as we made our way down to the stairs to leave the plane with your unconscious body, two spirits intervened and asked us to return it to where it was. One of them a dwarven male and the other a human female.
I see. Well,
They seem to have been companions of Thalabar himself, and they warned us that that the runestone does in fact grant wishes, but it costs a terrible price. It seems that for all of its capabilities from the story they told and what we did witness, to enact the runestone is to power it with another's life.
most interesting. Well, I suppose then it will have to stay there at least for a while longer until I'm capable of re-entering the plane and trying to claim it. But for the time being, it will stay there, as it is likely most safe there.
They did say that it is most safe there and should not be moved. Is there any particular reason why you wish to get it, considering the first time that we tried, you, as you put it, were dead?
Well, yes. However, I believe that it could best serve us in our defenses with Clogimitar. The possessed form, I should say, with Ebendeth.
Good, but is it really worth possibly losing your own life over? I kind of look at him with kind of a knowing look, I should say.
Well, perhaps not, but the life of one is usually best given for the many. Is that not correct?
Spoken very well, I will say. You are only you, however, so don't necessarily treat your own value too lowly.
He considers your words there for a moment and kind of ponders upon them.
To add some other news, we did in fact retrieve the Gnomingard grenade, and once the gnomes awaken, who are probably going to be your bedside neighbors, at least for a time perhaps, will be here, since we still need to understand exactly how it works and what it does, and only the gnomes probably really understand their own invention.
Ah, very well. I'm sure if I had time to study it, I could probably figure it out as well, but if they already know from construction, then it's much quicker for them to tell me and you that it is for me to figure it out.
I have no doubt you could put it together. Considering the work you did with the tower, I would not be surprised if it didn't take you long, but the thing you need is rest.
You are correct.
It's not. It has instructions on it. It's just not exactly as precise as would be helpful with a bomb containing all schools of magic.
He perks up for a moment. So, on it? Do you have it? May I see it?
I reach down to one of my pouches and just start to bring it out. I think I could have Azzy holding the key, I think is what it was. But I have the actual
I do.
casing itself. You have the actual key, and then
Yeah.
just the casing itself was in my pouch.
Leo, you have just gotten your soul back and you want to touch a giant, potentially dragon-destroying grenade.
I had it in a pouch on my hip. They had it on their person and their gnomes.
Well, I'm
Where
sure.
was it concerned when I touched it?
I'm sure it's not directly dangerous on its own, but at the same time, I understand the cautions necessary.
Luckily, we're keeping its two components separate, so that's helpful at least. I do bring over so you can see the casing. I don't hand it over just yet because I don't want Holly to hit me.
I'll just
Hit you.
I'll just look over at Argo and say in Abyssal to her, yes, we were not as concerned with you in terms of your safety because you weren't going to poke and prod it just yet. He is.
First thing I did was see what I could poke it with. You just didn't see that.
Very well.
I'm going to hold on to the key for now.
Yeah, no, not yes. I just show him the
Hmm.
casing. I don't hand him the casing. I'm showing it to him. Even I could at least avoid him.
All right, so
Tapping out for a second,
time
Harper.
out, Harper.
Would demons have a word for safety?
Yes,
Probably.
technically they would.
Probably, I guess.
They might not have a word for the word no in certain contexts, but I think safety, yes, because they don't necessarily want to blow themselves up completely.
Just everyone else.
Have you met demons?
Yeah, most of them have died, though.
Anyways, that's all I had. Continue. My character is not present. That's why I'm saying quiet.
I hold it up to him. That way he can see it, but just mindful that I don't directly hand it over just yet. So that he can see it better, at least.
He peers at it and he's like, "Oh, interesting. Runes. Yes, well. Turn 3. Are there instructions on it? Is that what this is?"
It seemed like it from what I read. And then with a faint hint of like each school of magic within, but I didn't do a very detailed study just in case that triggered something.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, I suppose if you would let me see it, I could look a little closer, but otherwise, I believe your assessment is about as concise as I can gain from this moment.
With Holly keeping him safe. And Naka's holding the actual key to detonate this thing. I do hand it over.
Very well.
Yeah, he is not leaving my side at the moment.
So he kind of rolls it over in his hands. It's like, oh, well. Well, it appears there's some form of arming that's required. The 3 turns appear to be the trigger, which begins some form of component activation internally. There's got to be some kind of source inside that stores the magical energy. I just can't quite see what it is. These gnomes, they will never let you know their secrets. However, once it's released, that would be the effect you would receive, but I agree that I can't quite tell what exactly is imbued within. It seems to just be all manner of things.
Which suits the gnomes rather well.
Well, very well. Thank you for giving me the chance to review it. You may have it back, as it may serve you better than it will serve me in a bed.
I slip it into just one of my pouches, nowhere near the actual component pouch, just keeping those things separate.
Okay.
I don't have much else, so I'll nod to Galio and say, I'm going to let you get some rest. If you need anything, let me know. And then I will just stop in with the people taking care of the other gnomes, with the 2 living gnomes that are unconscious, and just make sure that They are all set, and then I'll head back to the Umber Hulk Shell's Inn.
Yep, very well.
Umber Hulk's Shell Inn.
Very well. Everything is in order with the other gnomes at the moment. They are still resting and being tended to, but still not at full consciousness.
Give word when they rise and they're ready to speak. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Was just gonna say I head back with Nokris.
Okay.
Send word to us when the gnomes are recovered and able to entertain people. We have some questions about their construction before it is unleashed upon the world.
Very well. We will let you know.
And I'll head back.
When that short rest would have ended, I give like bow to Galileo and give a wave goodbye and head to the inn.
Okay, very well. Azzy, we turn to you. We're words. Arriving at the post.
I'll walk in and walk up to the counter, and first thing I ask for is the proprietor, Forver.
So from the stocks off to the side and behind the counter, Jack himself is beckoned. He turns, approaching you. How can I be of assistance?
Good day to you, sir. I've been informed that you are one of the ones looking for aid from Neverwinter. Is that correct?
Well, yes, me among many others. We set out to pay for transit to send a emissary of sorts to seek aid for defenses from the Lord for the roads so that our commerce doesn't shut down.
Has that already been taken care of?
Well, we did kind of draw straws and send the best among us to go and plead our case with the Lord, so hopefully that will be all straightened out, yes.
I nod. Do you carry a stock of potions?
Of sorts, yes. What are you looking for?
Greater healing potions, if you carry them.
Greater healing potions. Well, I don't know if I have any of those. He thinks for a moment, kind of debating if he may have something like that kicking around in the, anywhere in the shop. No, I don't believe we have any of those. The last that we did was probably about a month or so back, and haven't yet gotten any resupplied.
As you're a man of commerce, would you know where I might be able to acquire some locally, then?
Locally, probably not anywhere in the vicinity at this point in time. You'd have to be looking for either merchants that you may randomly find on the road, or hoping that you can seek some from Neverwinter directly.
Very well. Do you sell arms and armor?
I have some, but the smith would probably have better suited gear than I would.
Then that is where I shall head next. Thank you for your time, Mr. Torver.
Very well. Have a good eve.
Off I go to the smith.
Okay. So everyone, more or less, with the exception of Azzy, has congregated now at the inn, where I assume you effectively will begin feasting and drinking, as it is now, getting into the late afternoon, early evening hours.
No alcohols for Argo.
Okay. No alcohols for Argo. Azzy will stick with you staying at the smith, as you are currently looking for things.
Do they sell warhammers? The
They do.
one-handed hammer weapon?
Yep, they do.
I'd like to acquire their best one. So if it's magical, I'll pay for that. If not, then no big deal.
So the best thing you can find here is effectively a +1.
Price tag?
Let's see. 15 gold.
I dropped my 15 gold on the table, and I will take this Warhammer.
Very well. So yes, you have a Warhammer +1.
That is. That'll conclude my business here.
Okay.
I'll head back to Umber.
All right. Very well. So you arrive and meet up with the rest of the gang, all there already, with your shiny new mallet.
I'll walk up to Nokris. I assume you're already at a table, so.
Yep.
I'll pop a squat down next to him, and put a couple gold on the table and say, it appears that our Dwarver friend has already sent for aid from Neverwinter from what he said is the best among them, whatever that means. I don't imagine commoners can really have a best among them. That being said, he assumes that the situation will be resolved shortly.
Fair enough. That means that we don't have to bother with it. So I guess that answers our last question of if we wanted to go to Neverwinter to try and beseech on the Lord on behalf of the merchants for the Lord. But if Torvor thinks that they can do it, so be it. Merchant class always does seem to have a sense of ego about them.
As he shrugs, you can't blame them. They are all trying to fight for the top, the crown of having the most gold.
It does help in situations like this, I do not deny that, and their tenacity is something to be admired in some regards.
You only have to watch out for the bad ones.
Yep.
Or the very good ones in some cases.
But Galileo has been appraised of the situation that befell him after the runestone and everything else, and the council members are in relatively good standing from what I heard. We only have one question left, but it can wait at least a day or two until the gnomes are awake and we can talk to them about the grenade and then speak to Galileo one more time about the situation of possibly recovering Talia's body. And I kind of trail off.
If there's anything left of it.
Yeah. But we will see.
Who knows? Maybe Halia will want to go collect some Talia jerky.
Too strong.
Yeah, there's not enough meat in there to make anything consistent.
Nope.
I'm sure it's like fish meat for Talia. It just got worse the older it got.
Oh boy, a skeleton to use.
You might even say it's a bitch to eat.
Alright, duly noted.
I like how John's laugh was like genuine at first and then kind of pained in the last like 0.5.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yep. It started to become not so enjoyable.
Well, I guess if we're just killing time at this point, as he takes his 2 gold off the table and goes up to the bar.
Ooh. Gonna be one of them 2 gold expenditures, I see.
I'm limiting myself.
To only
2
buy
gold.
the bar.
Only 2 gold and a
Only
commoner's
2 gold.
tavern.
Right,
I'm
only 2
sorry,
gold.
I don't break my fucking gold up, okay? This is what you get. What does this buy? Oh, the whole bar? Alright.
Pretty much, yeah. Yep.
If it's gonna get into drinking, Argo's gonna head out to near the woods to practice with their magic some more.
I
Very
think
well.
Blackman would like to tag along with Argo to learn a little bit more about actual magic.
Very well. And everyone else, I assume, is going to stick to their current devices at the tavern.
I'm wow, if I could talk tonight, that'd be great. I'm going to kind of look around and see if my buddy is there.
Ya boy. All
My
right.
boy.
Klug.
Klug there.
And Klug is present, yes.
Okay. I will go hang out at Klug's table and make idle chatter with Klug as I'm continuously trying to write and remember more of Talia's plans.
Very well.
As he gets back to the table, and since it'll be just us at the moment, I'll take the moment and wait for him to get settled and into a drink a little bit, and then we'll look at him. I won't really look at him, but I'll kind of keep my face straight ahead, and I'll just say, I see you have something interesting on your shield.
He'll pick it up off the floor and kind of brush the face of it off, the polish. He'll say, yeah, it's due for a new polish, but it took some digging, I must say. I've learned a little bit about you and where you're from, and my respect for you has only grown.
And what did you learn exactly?
He looks left and right and says, well, I've learned of the fall of your order. I learned why you're fighting and who you're fighting from our last encounter together before I left. It takes a strong man to go what you've gone through. I can only hope to emulate that strength. Excuse the flair, I guess you'll call it.
Yeah.
The mimicry. I hope I'm not insulting you by burying this, but it was my own take on the design that I saw previously, as most of the shields that I could find off the market were antiquated and not fit for full duty. So I took the design and I made it my own, in a way to honor those who you fought with and you yourself. I hope to become a better man for following in your potential footsteps.
I kind of smirk at that. Part of that man died that night, unfortunately, but it took a very long time for me to be the way that I am, to say the least. I think, and I look at the shield again, and then I look at him, I think they would have liked the flare, especially my older brother. He would have enjoyed it immensely if you had met him.
As he rifles in his backpack.
As he rifles. Thought for a minute there, a cat had gone somewhere at 2.5.
Sorry, I don't remember if I showed you. So it's really small, and I do apologize, but
Giggity.
Yeah, very cool.
So if I had done it in color, the moon would still be white, the tower would be silver, and the dragon would be a little bit silver blue. And it was supposed to be enwreathed in flames, so I say flames, but the flames were supposed to represent the fall. That was the idea behind it, so. But that is what his new shield, or the modified same shield, looks like. He nods and says, what I wouldn't have given to meet you back then. But I'm happy to have met you now.
Same. and hopefully you will return this kindness as I look at him again and tell me why you left without so much as a word. I feel that has been something you haven't said to anyone aside from maybe Argo by circumstance and by a twinge of love, I guess is the best way to put it. As I look at him knowingly in terms of like having experienced that emotion before, specifically for what he has.
His smile fades. He takes a long draught out of his drink, and well, you know that I have family. I believe I told you that I have a sister. She's
I remember.
well. I had not heard from her, and it was important for me to keep in contact because the only reason I'm out here, the only reason I'm a sellsword and adventurer is to make the world a better place for her. Our father was killed. When I did not hear from her, I went looking for her. I saw what you went through, and no offense, but you lost it all, and I wanted to stop myself from losing it all. If I could be there for her, I was going to be. So I went back to Neverwinter, and I met somebody who was also from my past, and well, I beat his ass. And but only after finding out that he works for her, my sister. My sister knows my history with this man. So I chased him. I chased him through Neverwinter, across the seas to a very well hidden alcove, or cove rather. And there I fought him again, and I killed him in front of my sister. And there my sister showed her true colors and how greed had consumed her. My father had left the family business to me. He was a shipwright. You may have heard of the Union Shipwright Company, but whether you have or not, we're pretty well known. Most ships that sail and are seaworthy have come from us. But she wanted it all, and I would have gladly given it to her. But my blood kept me in the way, because she was not blood. She was adopted. So all of the assets fell to me, and me just handing it over wasn't good enough. It took a dagger to my chest to make me realize that I had to put her down, that she had become what I was fighting. Argo was there. I found Argo in Neverwinter, and she agreed to come with me and witness this. If it hadn't been for Argo, I probably would have died there and just let her kill me. So, but I managed to conquer that evil. And as he says this, you can see there's no light in his eye. He's pretty much deadpan at this point. I made my way back to Neverwinter, and there I set the family business upon a well-known family friend who will take care of it and give it back when I decide to retire from this. But here's where I belong, next to those who are also fighting for the same cause I am, to make the world a better place.
I look at him and I nod. And I wish you had only mentioned all of this sooner when you were going. I could have helped, but everyone has to learn their own way. And I kind of look at him. I am sorry for what you went through with your sister. I am well acquainted with that type of loss, is the best way I'll put it.
He nods. Well, thank you. But evil's evil, and I'm trying not to dwell on it.
It is, but
And what do you mean you would have had tried to help me? Then who would have led this gaggle fuck down here? You have accomplished much while I was away.
I
I'm
assume
just
this gaggle fuck, as you put it, would have gone to help you and made the transition either smoother or faster.
He shakes his head. And at what cost? Leyland as a whole? No, it was better this way.
So you say, but we can't change the past. What's done is done. Suffice to say, you've grown and changed from it. I can see that. So, hopefully, next time such a problem occurs, you will let us know about it versus just disappearing into the night.
Next time. I'm as fresh out of family as you are, my friend. So,
Well, to be fair, I am not quite out of family.
his eyebrows raise. Well, so be it.
You'll meet my younger sister one day. I am sure she will enjoy tales of high sea and adventure and Argo's tricks. I'm sure she will enjoy Holly's stories from the far north most of all.
He leans over, putting all of his weight on one elbow, looking at you. Is she as cute as you?
I look around at anyone who's watching and I lean right into his ear. Cuter, but if you do anything, I will bite your arms off. Just because you are like a brother to me does not mean I will take those arms, freeze them like a popsicle, then burn them, and then chew on them and spit them out.
You can take the arms if she's as cute as you. He leans back, laughing.
You'll get along fine with my mother, too. When you meet her. She'll probably kick your ass once or twice, though.
I look forward to it. There's a call me daddy joke in there somewhere, but
All right. Well, the rest of you out basically playing with magic in the woods, and Holly effectively, I guess I will say, poring over her. Yes, Bear. What can I do for you? He literally just poked me in the butt, climbing up into the chair. Holly, I assume you are still just chilling and/or writing.
Yeah, but at some point, Klug bought her a drink, so now she's just trying to outdrink Klug.
Okay, so it's become a match. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yes, so you are embroiled in the battle of the liver. So very well. So out among the woods, or wherever you stationed yourselves, you are now playing with fire, in a literal sense, between Blackwind and Argo.
Blackwind does not know any fire spells, so that is incorrect. At least I don't
Swear to
think
God, you
she
somehow
does.
burned down this forest.
You also have in charge of the wands, just.
I mean, I suppose Crown of Stars could burn it down, theoretically, but
Of
let's not
sorts.
go there.
Argo's not letting any spells out. She's just, poking her finger, using that drop of blood to bring up animate dead to get the feel for that necrotic energy and try and learn how to make that kill the undead real good instead.
So out among the woodlands, you are effectively reanimating the bones of random woodland creatures present, and
And then crushing them.
trying to control and/or destroy them. Yep. Okay.
Trying to get a feel for the energy to try and see about. First, get a feel on how to try and maybe neutralize or you're working towards the goal of, like I said in that one message, about trying to eventually learn how to change that reanimating into a damaging force against the undead, but first step would be more towards just a neutral effect, I guess would be a good word for it.
Okay.
So just focusing on that feel for it and what it feels like as it starts the reanimation process itself.
I just want to point out that you have the warlock and the wizard doing serial killer shit in the woods behind the bar. So
I pretty much
Trust me.
you open up your
My-
shoebox with the dead birds in it and just like patting them.
As soon as reanimating bows of damn animals came up, my mind went, Argo's pulling a Hector from Castlevania. Great. As long as no vampires are nearby, we're okay.
All right, very well. So yes, you tinker with learning the potency or the ins and the outs of basically trying to see if you can draw a better control or understanding of necrotic energy along with reanimation for the ability to try to provide its antithesis and try to use a means of undoing such of animation.
Yeah. Wizardry stuff.
Wizardry.
And just while doing this, I am just talking to Blackwind about magic.
with Blackwind just kind of chiming in every once in a while, like, no, hold my beer, watch this. And then does weird warlock shit. Do it like that. Because she has some experience working with the not so nice energies. A little bit of radiant here and there, but mostly the unkind things. So
you're both apparently perfecting the craft of what I'll call necrotically skipping stones on the lake.
yes, we are. Yes, necrotically skipping stones across the stream of souls.
Understood.
And for my final trick at 7th level, it summons 10 dead creatures. And then they die. Again. Yeah, I go through like just each spell level from 3rd through 7th, just trying to get a feel for the energies.
Very well.
Priest of Helm is probably in a fucking cold sweat inside his little anchorite chambers, like, wait, one over there. My evil senses are tingling, but I don't know what's happening.
All right. Well, having played with your dark energies, I assume you return back to the inn when you are through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just put no wraps on my fingers from where I kept poking them with daggers for the blood required.
Okay. Very well. All right. So everyone is now presently back at the inn. Holly is. Let me see here. So Klug is holding in pretty well. But at the moment, I feel like he is losing to Holly. Are there any
Holly's pretty
other
notoriously good at drinking games, so
duly noted? So, are there any other things you guys would like to do for the evening prior to turning in?
Just from memory, I'm going to map out the road to Nomengard that we took and that gulch, and then I'll turn it.
Yeah, it's only really to the gulch. You didn't actually go to Nomengard at all, so you know the directions to the gulch. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the gnomes, when they wake up.
I figure they could find their way home. It's probably somewhere they know how to get to, but that's fine. So okay, you create your maps, but otherwise, I assume everyone else will turn in for the evening. Holly turning in, a bit tipsy. Klug already being passed out at the table where he was sitting.
give him a nice
Gotta
little
get them
pad.
4 hours.
leave some bear or some pig jerky. Just I'll open up his hand and I'll put it in his palm and I'll gently wrap his fingers around it.
So he's like,
That's cannibalism for him.
Not Cliff's
Yes,
not
it
a
is.
pig.
He's part
That was
human.
for
They were
where?
part
He's
human.
not a were-pig.
They were part human.
They were a pig when I took the meat off of them. Thus, it's just pig jerky.
I feel like the taste doesn't account for that without.
magic.
I feel like before you feed this man some of your nasty not pig jerky, you should at least do him the courtesy of telling him where it came from.
Unlike that
Cliff wouldn't
council
care.
member.
All right, so that is the evening. Everybody turns in. You really haven't expended anything except for maybe Argo using spells, but if you haven't already, you can long rest again. As you'll sleep through the night.
I used 10 spell slots with that practice.
Okay. Alright, so the night basically is as any other night standardly is, although the rain came in a little bit, and you can hear it kind of pitter-pattering through the evening. But as you drew closer and closer to dawn, the night is dark, and the rain beats down on the rooftops. An hour before dawn, you hear the chime, urgent chime, of a bell by the southern gate. A cry comes up from the wall as troops begin to reposition and move to man their stations. The
I'm
dead!
going out the window.
The dead are coming! And so you find yourselves in Leyland, where the forces of the undead, led by Uleran Mortis, the Merkelites, are besieging the southern gate of Leyland. So, in the clamor of the slightly before morning, what would you like to do? Would you like to aid the wall? Would you like to seek something else?
I heard about the wall, so I'm gonna head that way.
Yep.
I'll like hit the doors of the others as I'm going that way, but I don't know if they're awake. They actually require like 8 hours of sleep for some reason.
Yeah, Blackwind's kind of like doing that whole like hurriedly. She's already dressed. She's already got her stuff ready to go. She's got her packed tome strapped to her hip, and she's like trying to pull on her last boot and also grab a mug as she like tries to get out the door to get to the wall as fast as possible.
When I hit the door, I do say attack at the gate and then just book it.
Okay.
I don't even say what gate. I'm just rushing.
All right, very well. So, we will begin now a chain of what I will call to be narrative battle mini encounters. So, we won't actually have tokens and positioning and dealing of damage and things like that. However, there will be targets. You will be able to attack, assuming you are in position like any other situation. You can use magics, you can do the thing, everything as you would if you were standardly in combat. However, we will not have like placement on the map. I'll simply describe it, and you can describe the actions that unfold from the combat that ensues when it does. So, everyone, rousing from the alarm, has chased their way down now to meet at the southern gate. The din of battle echoes from the palisade as you approach. Through the rain, you see allied troops using spears and bows to fend off a horde of ghouls swarming from the darkness. All along the ramparts, burning torches struggle to provide illumination for your forces. As you watch, these pools of light are extinguished one by one as the dead swarm over the walls. So you find yourselves at the southern wall, now being approached by a total of 15 ghasts. And I will not worry about initiative. I will simply go from Holly, you can go first. Nokris, you can go second. We'll have Argo go next. Azzy and Blackwind. But after the first round, you can adjust however you would like as a group if you feel that there is a moment or an attack or something that could be better suited having someone else initiate first. You will effectively have a form of tactical advantage because you are now acting as a unit in a larger scale assault and defense. So, there's a bunch of ghasts. There's basically the equivalent of 3 for each of you. So, if we begin from there, the defenders of the wall are struggling to hold them back, many of them kind of falling and potentially being knocked back by the ghouls and ghasts as they climb over the walls. So, Holly, if you would like to go first, hop on in there and see what you can do.
So as soon as Holly hears these bells, she immediately goes to help defend because she knows Leyland's guards are fucking garbage anyway. So she's gonna hop into the thick of it as much as she can, and she's gonna just take some shots at these ghasts with her raging barbarianness.
Okay.
Do you want us to still check off stuff?
Still, if you're still consuming actions or things like rage, tick off that you're consuming it, and then we'll still roll for combat actions as you normally would to hit and things like that.
Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna rage, and I'm gonna do some reckless, and just take pot shots at these guys.
Okay. So that is a hit and a hit, and 15 plus 10 is 25. So you basically knock down one of the ghasts pretty substantially to the point where he is almost on his face, but he is still alive.
And I'm just gonna yell over my shoulder, "Get your asses out here!" Talking to the rest of my party.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me.
Okay. So, whomever wants to jump in next. I mean, in Nokris, I kind of gave a loose order, but there's no real formality. You guys can kind of figure that out how you'd like.
Yeah, I guess. I guess for now I'll just go with the order that was given, and then we can figure it out from there once we see what happens.
Sure.
But having heard the alarm and the rapping, Nokris doesn't really waste time. He gets on his armor, he gets his greatsword, and he goes. And much like Holly in this instance, he is going to go into the thick of things for the moment. And he will pick what looks to be the strongest ghast out of them all, and he will then go right for it and attack this one head on.
Okay.
So
It's a hit.
Okay.
So 14 points of damage.
And then he will swing again.
Hit for another 14.
And if it still looks like it is, does it look like it's, is it still standing, I should ask?
Mm-hmm. Currently still is, yep.
Okay. I'll also unleash a Divine Smite upon it as my blade kind of sinks into its midsection and just let radiant energy explode from it outward as it kind of like detonates inside its body.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
I will burn a slot of second level to do that.
Okay.
So So that will be for an extra 23 points of radiant damage.
All right. You exterminate that ghast from existence in a blink of radiant, I guess, explosivity.
And then I'll turn back and shout to the defenders. It's a good way to. I will shout back for them to charge, and I'll just scream, "Forward!"
All right. Well, then I guess that we'll move on to whomever wishes to go next. I believe I was said Argo.
Oh, yeah. With the gas, they're bunched up near the gate, you said, or are they in, like, there and then it's back? I'm not quite sure where they actually were from what you, because I can't remember what the actual wording you said on where it had been, like, at the palisade
So
itself.
yes, basically the southern gate. Like if we look at the map, you see like how they have the wall and the palisade at the southern gate.
Yeah.
Basically, like we're approaching the southern gate to help defend, but things are effectively coming up over the wall and making their way to the ground on the inside, and that's basically where you're catching them. So they're kind of starting to swarm up and over, and you're basically there, like knocking them down on the inside of the wall.
Gonna use a charge on my wand of fireballs and try to. You said there'd been. I'm gonna try and aim for like the gas that were maybe a bit further back in terms of at the. Like you said, there'd been like 15 some total, I believe. I'm gonna try and aim more for the rear ones in terms of where it would hit to start with than for the fireball. To
Okay.
aim more towards the back of the group of ghasts.
Okay, that's fair. Just know that there is going to be, collateral damage with that will occur within the, defenders on the wall, simply because of the fact that you've got guards and everyone else that are trying to similarly hold back the tide of undead.
Yeah.
So, but that being said, you do connect, with your explosion, and let me just roll some. Let's see how many would be. Let's do some dex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you hit 4 of them with, full explosivity of the fireball, let's call it. They fail to resist the saving throw. One of them, however, does. So they take half damage, I would assume.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just tallying these, keeping track on the sheet over here, so. And then half for that one. Okay. Alright. Okay, so I have my life totals for those. Alright. And I assume then that ends your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so now, basically, Azzy or Blackwind, I had said Azzy previously, but either one of you could step in if you want to take the next turn.
Don my armor, grab my weapons, and I run straight for Holly to lend my shield for any counterattacks that may or may not happen.
Okay.
And will okay. I'm gonna make 3 attacks. One on the one that she was I'm going to attempt to finish off the one that she was swinging at, and then make 2 more attacks on another one.
On another target. Okay.
So let's see here. Okay, why did that happen? I don't know why it did that like that. Somebody help. So does a 17 hit?
17 hits.
So it would be 11 slashing damage.
Okay. So the target that Holly had been attacking is now dead.
Okay. I'll spin to one of her flanks, and are there any more within reach?
Yes.
Okay. 10
Is a miss.
and an 11.
Is a
Wow,
miss.
rolling real high tonight, as you can see.
So basically, you swing at another target, effectively coming over the wall, and while missing, you don't connect. However, they do kind of stumble for a moment, trying to avoid your attack as they were, shambling forward. So
As they stumble, I'll try to shield master shove them back over the wall.
Okay.
As a yeet motherfucker.
Okay, very well.
God damn, what is up with this? Alright, this is rigged. I'm not doing any more fucking rolls.
This is rigged.
This is insane. All my rolls, all my
you
rolls from last
successfully
session
pushed
were...
him back over the wall. So
I rolled a fucking 4. Are you kidding me?
It's a gas. Doesn't it have
yeah, the ghast actually has a +3, but it rolled
Really?
a 2.
I did not know
So
that.
Yeah. This is insane.
so basically, the ghast goes toppling back over the wall, and effectively becomes trodden under the feet and the claws of the rest of his brethren attempting to get over the wall, thus expiring.
Hell yeah. That's my turn. So.
Alright, Blackwind, you're up.
As Blackwind arrives on the scene, she wants to go to the top of one of the gate towers to
Careful
try
you aim those.
and get a good feel for what's going on. But then once she sees the scene of things like kind of spilling in, she is going to cast Investiture of Ice.
Okay.
Oh, I have 3D dice. There we go. I don't know why I have that turned on. That's weird. Either way, so that way when she sits up on the top of the tower, there's now ice covering the ground around her, so she's basically just trying to keep the gas from climbing over the tower.
Okay.
And she wants to just kind of hold ground there.
Okay. Alright, very well. So any targets hit in the, I guess, initial display of ice, there'll be a few of them that will get caught in that because they're swarming, more or less. So go ahead and roll some saves that I don't think they will pass. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, so four more targets take 16 points of cold damage. Okay.
Oh, and before Blackwind casts the spell, though, she makes sure to, once she sees that it's undead attacking, she makes sure to drop her jacket or her cloak so that basically she is bare-shouldered, clear down to her waist, and you can actually see all of her invocation tattoos that are like sailor style. She wants her warlock powers on full display during this.
Full blast.
Yes, because she has some very special undead-related things. So,
Noted.
next
Okay.
person.
All right, so as you begin to push back the onslaught, more join the fray because it is in fact an onslaught. So you see 5 additional ghasts continue the advance forward at you. One of them falls because of the ice, so 4 more join you. And now you may continue to attack.
If we're not using a set order, I would like to use dancing lights to actually help a bit more with some decent light. Since you mentioned the torches being starting to go out because of people getting knocked out, I'll send up dancing lights. Just want to get up above each of the heads of our people.
Very well. Yep. So yeah, you basically use dancing lights to add illumination to the battlefield, and the visibility increases not only for yourselves but for other defenders of Leyland.
It'll be a 10-foot radius of just dim light above all 4 of their heads to give a bit of a beacon for that.
Okay.
And then I'll make sure to stick close-ish to them, but back a bit for them doing their close combat thing. And that'll be it for me.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I'm gonna swing my axe around.
Roar!
Holly going all spin to win.
That is a hit. That is a hit. So that is 9 plus 11 is 20. And this one is now dead.
Excuse me.
That's it for me.
Okay. All right, who's next?
Don't all go at once.
Well,
Okay.
I guess I'll go since I'm standing right next to Holly.
Sure.
And I will attempt to follow up her attacks with attacks of my own, assuming there are still some standing around us.
Yes, there are.
Right, fuck digital dice, though. I'm sorry if I'm making your life a little bit difficult. Would you like to see the rolls? Would you like me to angle the camera?
No, just go ahead.
Although this one did roll a nat 1 last session, so...
Put it in dice jail.
I have a +8 to hit, right?
I think so.
So does a 13 hit?
It does.
All right. That's 1d8 plus 3, so... 11 points of damage on that one.
All right.
23 to hit.
Is a hit.
A 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Still standing.
It is still standing.
And a 13 again.
Is a hit.
And another 9.
All right. It is dead.
If there's any more coming over the wall, am I able to use my Shield Master Shove, or would you like me to keep it to the target that I'm attacking?
You could shove in the middle of the tumult that you've got going on. I think that would be something that you'd be able to pull off.
Okay. So let's see. That's strengths plus 3, so a 22.
He made it.
Damn.
Yep. He basically rolled a nat
Hmm.
20 for 23.
So I bash him in the face with the shield. He may not move, but I do it. Pow!
Gave him a little boop on his snoot. Alright, so then I assume that is the end of your round of combat.
Yes.
So there are 2 combatants left for the round. Who would like to go?
Go ahead. I
I'll
like
go
my
ahead
position
and
last.
go. We just see these other gas so far, correct?
Yes, right now you basically just see gas, but you see that there, appears to be a fair number of them effectively trying to make their way over the palisades, kind of stacking up on themselves, trying to climb over the top.
Okay. Are there any of our defenders on the top of the palisade, or is it all just gassed up there?
There are still defenders, some defenders at the
Okay.
top of the palisades.
Does it look like they are holding, or that they're going to break?
I'd probably say a little bit of both.
Okay. I will move to the area at the top of the palisade that looks weakest and join the fray there.
Okay.
And I will... On the top of the palisade, when I get there, can I see over the wall to
You
get
can.
a better idea of what's actually coming at us?
Yeah, you can see a little bit out, maybe let's call it like 25, 30 feet in front of you out over the wall. And you basically just see, like, more or less a writhing mass of undead that are kind of just corralled at the wall. You can't really see that there's an end to the line from what the light is able to show you, but it seems like there is a fuck ton of them.
Okay. In that case, then I will attack. For now, I will attack one of the ones that I'll strike out at the ones that are at the top with these soldiers to try and give them a rally to.
Mm-hmm.
14 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then I will attack again.
Okay. There's a hit.
Okay. And down on the other side of the wall, it's just undead there, correct?
Correct.
Or, okay. In that case, then, seeing that I am, let me just double check on this really quickly. Okay, I do have it. So about, I want to say 40 feet out from the wall, so that I can kind of create a barrier of some type. I'm going to burn 2 of my sorcery points
Mm-hmm.
to then quicken a spell, and I'm going to quicken cast Wall of Fire, and I'm going to put it so that I drop the wall kind of like in between the actual palisades that are going on and then the rest of the undead horde, so they have to actually physically walk through the wall if they want to advance, or go around it, thus trying to make it take longer for them to do anything,
Mm-hmm.
or to be burned in it. And I will use a 4th level spell slot to cast this, and I will have the side that is facing out towards the horde, not the palisade, be the side that's burning. So anything that kind of walks into that area and then walks through the fire, as from last time, is going to have to deal with its fire damage and things like that, which I will just cast that right now. So you have a running kind of total on it. 22 points of fire damage, and I will make it as long as I possibly can to kind of cover as much of this wall face as possible. So it will be 60 feet long and 20 feet high.
Okay. So you catch 4 of them in the wall as they are trying to advance and or proceed through. So we'll subtract that. 22. So 2 expire. 1 is simply, in pain / fire. And another takes fire damage as well. But because of your cast and your display, you reduce the amount that will be joining us next round. Are you going to do anything further? You've basically moved into the wall of fire. I assume that's pretty much
wall moved, did the wall of fire, attacked.
Yep.
There's not really much else I can do.
You can do.
It's not like I can offer
Yep.
words of encouragement at this point because I am trying to compartmentalize different things where I have to be a fighting piece for the soldiers right here so that they have something to rally at if they're failing. And then also, I actually have to speak incantation, so I may be able to speak in tongues, but I don't have 3 tongues to speak.
You don't have that kind of capacity. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, so the end of your turn, I'm going to total the number that are there. I'm going to basically roll some hits, and I'm going to use a averaged AC for damage, and then split damage accordingly across the party. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's just do some attacks. And average AC for you guys, I believe, if I'm counting this correctly, is like 17. Because you guys have really high AC on like 2 of you. And if you have mage armor up.
But what about my turn?
Oh, I thought you already went.
No, Harper was
Oh,
last.
you were last. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Hello, Harper Des.
I made it worse by going first this time.
Yeah. No, literally all I was gonna do is just use my what is this? The last option on investiture of ice to do the little freezing cold down the side of the tower. So,
Okay.
so everything within a 15-foot cone down there.
Everything takes 7 cold.
Yes, unless it succeeded on a save, which
All right.
is
It's 18,
DC 20.
20 because you're +2. Yeah, so.
Yep.
1, 2.
The whole whopping 7, 3, 2,
5.
1, and 1 on my dice.
Alright, so nobody passed. So they all take 7. So one of them expires.
Nurgle is happy.
And then...
Aren't these his minions though?
Not necessarily. They're more like Nagash's minions.
Okay. Alright, so damage has been dealt. I also rolled my combat attacks from the gas attacking back at everyone. 2 of them managed to land a hit. So everyone basically just take a combined 3 damage. Oof. So if everyone takes 3 damage from that, that will be the effective exchange of all ghasts in the melee against you all.
I'm at 69 health.
So he doesn't just take 1.
Correct.
Quick question. Heavy Armor Master, would you like
Yeah.
me to apply that?
You can, it applies.
Okay.
0.
0 damage for me.
And Holly, you can have it to 2 because you can have it. Alright. But that ends that round of combat. An additional 3 now join you.
First time we've been hit in a while. Blackwind.
That's the first time Blackwind has been hit ever.
Yeah, but last time you were hit, you died.
Oh! Ooh, I almost forgot about my special thing. But since you're doing group stuff, but I don't know why it keeps asking me for rolls. But yes, please keep that in mind in the future, DM-san.
You can turn
That's
off
what I
digital
did.
dice by clicking your character in the D&D Beyond thing. Just your name, and the window that pops up will have a dice rolling thing on it. Just make sure that's not checked.
Oh yeah, it's turned off.
So basically, among the dead would mean that they would stop trying to attack you as a target based upon the save and have to attack a different target.
Yes.
All right.
Otherwise wasted if there's not another target present.
Right. So, okay, I'll keep that in mind.
They treat me as one of their own.
I'll
Until
keep
you
that in mind.
directly attack them like you can do with dice.
All right. So it is now the third round, starting. So go ahead, whomever wishes to kick us off.
I'm gonna turn into a bear.
Boy,
The bear
Finally.
has surfaced.
I need you to know,
Finally.
John, that when you went up like that, your camera briefly froze and held you at that. I really wish I could have captured it.
Well, it'll be in the stream somewhere.
But yeah, I'm going to grasp the totem at the end of my axe, and I'm going to wild shape into a brown bear.
To a bird.
Grab that totem.
Now, I don't know. I guess I'll just have to roll them like freely, John.
In terms of what?
Like
For-
I don't have anything to click on to roll,
If
so
you
I'll just
look
have
at
to
the-
like, roll the.
If you look at that stat block you linked me. Oh yeah, but you can't see that, can you? In Beyond. Here, let's do this.
I mean, I'm just rolling like a d8 and then 2d6, and then adding the +4 or whatever.
Yeah, but if you open or do a search and open a new brown bear stat block, it should give you the ability to roll the attacks by just clicking the buttons from Beyond. So like in the top bar where it says search, type in brown bear and then wait for the box to show the autocompletes. Right click on the top entry, hit open a new tab. And then when it gives you that, click on brown bear monster. And then when it gives you to that page, now you can roll for the multi-attacks using bite and claws by just clicking the buttons, and it'll come through to the character sheet stuff.
Oh, that's so fancy! Wow. Okay.
Wow.
And I don't imagine I have advantage on any of this anymore.
You don't. Yeah, you don't have reckless going anymore. Well, because you're a bear, so.
Hold on, I thought rage continues.
Rage continues, yes. However, I don't think you can do reckless as a option during the middle of a wild-shaped combat attack while you're.
Because I think there's something in
bear.
Reckless that mentions weapons specifically.
Oh. Huh.
Let me look.
Let me rules lawyer, damn it. Just say melee weapon attack.
When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly, giving you advantage on melee weapon attacks using strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you. Blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, so I can't.
It counts. It would count because the biting and claws attack on the brown bear are considered melee weapon attacks for both. So you can utilize reckless if you would like. You would have to probably do the math to get it to work because I don't think you could toggle them on the stat block. But if you roll them, I can always just make it work.
It worked. I was trying to test it on mine, but it works apparently.
You want me to just re-roll them, or do you want me to just roll one more of each of those again?
Roll one more of each of those again. Or when you go to do it, if you click the one above the bigger red square that says bite on it, it should theoretically roll advantage.
I'll just do it again this time.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically, you have a 12 is what you rolled for the bite as the highest. And that is +4, but does that have your reckless involved already?
Well, reckless just means I get advantage on things.
Okay, so then so advantage 1d8. See, that's just the damage though. That's not the hit, is it?
Let me try doing the red thing.
Yeah, there you go. You were just rolling the individual components of the attacks. When you click the one for the attack, it's just doing a hit. If you click the one for the hit, it's just doing the damage.
Well, there we go.
Okay, so 17 is a hit for 9 piercing with your raging for 3. So 12 for the bite. And then the claw attack is 15 is a hit for 13 plus 3 slashing is 16. So that's a total of 28 damage to your target. And that expires one of the ghasts.
I would just also like to point out that I used Wild Shape as my bonus action, so then I get the 2 actions.
Correct, because you only used one attack as a multi-attack thus far. Or as an action, I guess I should say.
What?
You have 2 actions, right?
I have a multi-attack.
Yes, if you look at the stat block for a bear, it means you can make 2 attacks as an action. So when you attack, you could do 2, right?
No, bear makes 2 attacks, one with bite and one with claws, which I did.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't get to go again.
No. You
Right.
did Wild
Okay.
Shape as a
Okay.
bonus action to your bear's attack.
Yes.
Is there anything that you wanted? I'm assuming there's nothing else you want to probably do.
Nope, I'm good.
As a burr. Okay. All
I'm just
right.
going to growl. Or
Rawr. Okay, who's next?
I'll fire off a magic missile at one of the ghasts. Just first level.
Okay. So I was gonna say it should be a third projectile, I think so. So a total of 10 damage, and another one has succumbed to death in undeath.
And as my bonus action, I'll bring the orbs that I had above Blackwind over to me a bit more.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
All right. So 3 of you remaining to go for the turn.
Having seen Nokris go up to the top of the ramparts, how are things down here with Ollie and I?
They're stabilizing. You are kind of holding ground and beginning to press back, which is good. So you're gaining on their onslaught.
Okay. Are there any areas that I can tell by a quick glance that are failing?
I mean, no more so than what you would anticipate. Basically, the initial surge knocked some things back, but the defenders, as well as your lines, are kind of like re-engaging and kind of holding them, and it's kind of a little bit of push-shove, but you're starting to push more than be pushed, so...
Okay. Yep. Let's see here. I take it there are more enemies to attack around us in particular. Then that is what I shall do. $18
It's a hit.
or 7. 7.
You kill that target.
A 24
It's a hit.
or 9.
Okay.
And a 10.
Okay. Is a miss.
The one that I missed on, I will attempt to shield master shove.
All right.
Or not. That's a 5.
All right, so they succeed in resisting that. All right, now who's up? 2 left.
As I scratch my nose, as I feel like I need to sneeze. um. So, we haven't heard anything or seen anything to the contrary that they're anywhere else, correct?
At this moment, in the middle of the tumult that is happening at the south gate, you cannot really discern or have heard if there has been an alarm or noise from any other area to tell you otherwise.
Okay. I still have some in front of me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I will go ahead and attack the ones that are in front of me right at this particular moment.
All right. That is a miss.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. It was very weird. For some reason, I thought it rolled a d4 for me, and then I realized it was just the magic missile.
And that is a miss as well.
Okay. That is it for me at the particular moment.
Okay. Blackwind.
Alrighty then. So, how are things looking over on Blackwind's end?
So they're not as heavy where you are currently because the ice is helping to kind of stem the tide, so to speak, a little bit.
Okay. In that case, Blackwind is going to continue concentrating on Investiture of Ice, but rather than use like the Conal attack, she is going to cast Crown of Stars on herself,
All right.
because that actually does not require her to concentrate. So. And then, of course, immediately use the bonus action to make an attack.
So, okay, so
We'll
fling
send one streaking towards like the back of the pack.
Fling
to
one
start.
to one of the far ones. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right, you hit it squarely, and it is quite impeded by that blow, but is still alive.
6 more stars. Stay the fuck back, ghouls. All right, next person.
All right, so that is then the end of the round. Let me go ahead and roll attacks. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. All right, so we got 2 hits for a total of 28 divided by 5. Let's call it 6 damage apiece. Then you guys can apply any reductions. I will do the save for you, Harper, to see what we get as well.
This is just normal, like, slashing, right?
So, yeah. It's a wisdom save against that, I believe, if that was correct, for the Among the
Yeah.
Dead. I think it was wisdom.
Yes, wisdom
Yeah,
saving throw
wisdom
DC
saving
18.
against your spell hit, which is 20 because of the +2, right?
No,
No, it's just
because this
18.
is not a spell. This
Okay.
is just an effect and a feature, so the rod doesn't apply to it.
Got you. So
Only an 18.
So the one that attempted to attack you simply doesn't. So you
It
don't
says
you don't take any damage. Azzy, you take 3. Holly, you take 3. Argo and Nokris, you take 6.
Okay. Give me just a second here.
not the face.
Okay, so I have advantage on this. So 19, so my wall of fire remains in effect.
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's it. Just wanted to make sure that I knew what the numbers were for
Mm-hmm.
my concentration I had to roll.
Yep. And let me just see how many of them are burned this time around. Got so.
Yeah, it's concentration. Okay.
17. So they got a pass. 1, 3, and it's 22. So 3 of them in 1 pass. So we got 22. And then halved at 11. So, okay. All right. Top of the order, round 4.
Um.
Bear
So,
goes first.
well, I actually had something to tell John. So, fun fact: you can actually add your Druid wild shapes into D&D Beyond as part of the extras tab,
Cool. Okay.
and it'll actually pull up everything like your hit points. You can actually go in and take your hit points off that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it adds like its own little subsection.
That's
So
pretty
that's
sweet.
really cool.
That's sweet.
That's
Yeah.
really fucking cool.
I don't like it's not letting me take the HP off for the roll that I did. It's just doing like 34 HP, which is what the stat block is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's only like 2 points higher than what I rolled anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not really a deal. But
That's not a huge deal. We can just do like a temp 2 HP or something to make up for it when you change shape or hit 0. We can basically be like 2 more. So that's fair.
okay, so we're gonna go.
You're gonna go for that picnic a biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That is not a hit. That one is. So let's see, 7 plus 3, 10. You expire one of the ones in the front. Okay.
That's just.
Alrighty. Who's next?
Are there any like? Sorry, are there any like guards or anything around me like also fighting?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to put myself kind of not in between, but I'm definitely trying to take the brunt away from these guards.
Very well. Alright, who wants to go next? There's 4 of you, so.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Well, she's just tearing through things down here, so.
Believe me, there's no lack of bodies for you to potentially hit. Don't be concerned with that.
I'll advance with her, still attempting to use my reaction to oppose disadvantage on anything that attacks her. Simultaneously, making my return attacks. So I'm assuming that there's still bodies to swipe at.
Yep, absolutely.
Nothing's made it past us, correct?
Not that it hasn't been stopped by additional defenders that are there with you at the wall.
Okay.
So they're not like free running past you into the city.
Okay. Just making sure. We're only 2 big people. So, yeah.
2 big people on that little area of the palisade.
Mm.
You got 3 other big people over in this vicinity too.
22.
Hit.
For 11.
Okay.
A 23.
Hit.
For 4.
Okay.
And a 23 for 4.
It is dead.
Whatever one is closest to me, I am attempting to shield back.
Okay.
21.
They are knocked down, but they get up again. Yeah, we're gonna keep.
I figured it
Thanks
out,
for
John.
tub thumping.
Ah, okay. All right, cool. All right, 3 more. Who's up?
I'm gonna try and get up onto the wall if I'm able to.
Okay.
Gonna look out past towards the out of the city where they're trying to come from still.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send the cone of cold that way.
All right, so you're gonna launch
Bam,
cone of
bam,
cold,
bam.
cone of cold over the wall. All right.
There's fucking 200 damage pools that John is now gonna have to reduce to either 0 or.
I'm not gonna roll for that many. Trust me. I'm gonna average it. So
Mass
we have
battles is something that D&D does not handle particularly
not
well.
very
It
well.
really
No.
has.
No. So basically 1 save and 4 fails. So that's 37 cold, and then 19 for the half. So
Yeah.
19 dead, and then this one is dead. Okay.
Going to see if I can pick out anything particularly worrying from the view I have.
Nothing really different that you can see other than a sea of undead that basically are like having a rave against the walls, packed in. It's basically like the last Daft Punk show ever. They're all just like throwing their hands in the air like they just don't care, but like at the same time being like what.
At least there's no special threats along this part of the wall. And that'll be it.
Alright, so there's 2 of you remaining for the round. Who would like to go next?
There's still undead here on top with me, correct?
Yes, there are some still with you, yes.
Okay, I will attack then.
Also, for reference, the side I went to is closer to where Blackwind was rather than the side where all the firewall was.
That is a hit for 13.
Right.
That target is dead.
Okay, I will attack again.
Okay. That is a hit for 11. That target is also dead.
Okay. Cool. I'm not seeing any specific type of undead that seems to be leading them, correct, at this point?
Not from where you are currently, but given the sheer volume of them that are present, you have to assume that there is some mastermind or general that is kind of leading this makeshift army of undead.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere that neither of us can see from.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to
Probably.
think it's A, early morning hours where the sun isn't actually totally up, and B, so your visibility is at most your potential dark vision sight range from where you are from the wall.
Yeah. Just a lot of corpses bouncing.
Which if there's as many undead as there are there currently, based upon the numbers that I'm telling you without telling you the actual numbers, which are in the multiple hundreds, you can't see that far back.
Okay. That is fine. Does it look like there is a runner nearby?
A runner nearby for a messenger within your own internal defenses.
Yeah, just so that, because I want to know if the other sides of the city are also besieged at this time or no.
Okay, so you do not see that there is any particular messengers or runners or scouts or anything like that that are currently around. But that's just from your quick cursory look around the individuals defending the wall with you at the same time.
Okay. Okay, that'll be it for me for now.
Okay. Blackwind.
All right.
What do?
Stars go pew. That's what do.
So little head cannon drop down.
Yep. Oh, I thought you were about to like actually headcanon something.
No,
About, like, some
no.
interpretation
I
of
was
how
literally
exactly
like
I'm doing it.
head cannon throw down.
Yeah. I just kind of imagine it like how the old school like 3.5 Ioun stones, like how they orbit around your head. I've got like the same thing going on. It's just
And
I just like
you're just like get him.
and it's like
Yep.
like a dog after a squirrel.
Exactly. All right. So the damage before was 31. Do we re-roll damage for each star attack effectively?
Yes, I do
Alright.
need to make a ranged spell attack. So. All I gotta do is click use.
That's a hit for 35. You kill your target.
Radiant damage. I will continue to maintain concentration, but I cannot cast another spell right now, and I still technically have an action left.
Pew 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 with them eldritch.
Oh, right. I have another toy that I could be using. Oh, yes. I have another toy. Anyways, let's see. Yes, I can use an action. This is the thing that Blackwind does that just enhances her creepiness.
Mm-hmm.
She will pull the long-handled oar that she uses as her quarterstaff from her back, speak the command word, and drop it to the ground where it turns into a giant constrictor snake.
Hiss, hiss. Bite, bite.
And I shall now pull up the stats for that in another tab.
Stretch, stretch.
Nom nom.
In fact, you can probably add that in D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
Blue
probably.
maps though, because need other websites to prove that.
Wow!
You could add it probably as a pet.
Yeah, theoretically, you could probably add it as a pet stat block and then be able to use the attacks from it. But it's all the same. Does it get to actually make an attack action on the first turn of its being summoned?
That's what I'm double checking right now. Because it just has an action to create it. I can use a bonus action to return it.
Okay.
To staff form. If it hits 0 hit points, the staff is destroyed. Kaput, gone.
I have to
Decide
assume
what it does.
I have to assume that it would because it becomes a new available individual on the field, and because of the way that combat is working in this with rounds, there's no real initiative per se. So I would effectively give you the ability to attack with it should you choose to.
Yeah. It just says you decide what action the snake takes and where it
Right.
moves during its next turn.
Because it effectively is probably going to act as its own like token more or less. So you just choose how to direct it when it takes its turn.
Yes. I will pull up the stats. I think I can add this. Oh, lordy, I can. Also, it's really fucking big, guys. It's a huge size creature, so it is a 3x3, not a 2x2.
Very nice.
My anaconda wants some of them.
1,000 on the left, I'll take the 1,000 on the right. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
Alright, cool. But yes, I will tell it, go, kill, destroy.
Okay, so give me a roll for whatever attacks it has on the staff block that you would like to execute.
I'm going to have it start constricting something.
Okay. Alright, so 21 to hit is a hit. Let's see if it is bound. DC 16 to escape. Failed. Failed, so it is bound, and it takes 16 points of damage. Duly noted. Alright, so one of them is currently bound and is now at that. Alright, cool. So
Squeezing it like I'm wringing a dish towel.
Exactly. So, end of that round, I'm going to roll for the total number of them that are available to then attack you with the onslaught that is currently happening. And nobody takes any damage this turn from the undead coming at you. And let me do a check for the wall of fire. And takes damage.
You better be getting fucking free drinks after this.
Okay.
It's not like that would do anything for
All right.
Blackwing.
So you, again, survive yet another round. It is now the start of the 5th round. Reinforcements from your defenders show up to bolster your ranks. As they arrive, one of them brings word that there is also an attack happening to the north. The cultists of Talos have come and are sieging the northern gate as well. They have barbarians, these odd half-dragon barbarians, that are currently laying siege to the northern gate, led by Fairlie,
Who wants to
of
lead an
the
adventure
of the
today?
not dead from falling into the waves as you had hoped that they would have been.
This bitch.
Which of you wants to come with
Actually
me? as
lived.
I go
Holy
back
So-
shit.
So now, as a group, you get to decide if you would like to go to the north to reinforce the gate under siege, or turn your focuses to a new area of Cry, where there are now undead rising from the waters at the docks in the quayside, attempting to now siege that side of the town, as they have essentially floated their way around the wall through the water to begin an assault at the docks. So now you have to make a decision about which you would prefer, or which action you will take.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding the situation correctly. So the South Gate is now pretty much under control.
The South
because we have
Gate is, yes, the South Gate has been repulsed from their initial swarm to the point where it is now manageable, and the reinforcements of soldiers that arrived at the South Gate are now able to hold the line.
Okay.
The wall is not breached, so the gate is still held in position. They didn't have any siege operations to be able to try to break the gate. They were simply coming over the top of the walls. So, with the amount of individuals that are now reinforcing, you're able to hold the wall without your presence. So now there are two potential new threats to the town, which you now have to choose and decide which you would like to attend to.
Should we
Uh,
split up for this?
Well, I
mean-
think
I think we might need to.
I don't want to split the party.
we're not splitting
Well-
the party.
Or it won't be one going one way and the rest going another way.
So I will just say that from the actions going on, that it's not really a good idea at all to split the party.
I didn't think it was, but I felt like it needed to be brought up to get shot down now instead of later.
Fair enough.
We
Let
also
me put it
can't.
this way. There are uppity nobles at the North Gate. There are good common folk who have provided us with food and drink at the docks. So
But there's also the peculiarity shops guy up north, closer to the north gate. He's a friend.
I don't think you can easily necessarily classify who is where at this point per se. Correct, Junie?
About people inside the city, probably not. No.
Right.
You have to assume that any and all able-bodied individuals have basically taken up arms to help defend the city as much as possible. So
Also, with it being a mention of actual calling it a siege at the north gate, that
Yes.
implies there might be some machinery up there helping them with it. So
right.
that could be a pretty big threat.
You said they're half dragons at the North Gate?
That
There are barbarians, storm lords, berserkers are barbarians of half dragon descent.
That sounds like a big threat. Also, under the lead of that lady who Argo doesn't know about, but heard like nearly one shot a person.
There's an undead threat from the ones that have meandered into the water and are now coming up by the docks, correct?
Correct.
Are there guards over by the docks? Are we?
You have to assume at this point that there are guards and or common militia literally everywhere trying to fight back anything and anywhere that there's a hot spot of something happening.
I feel like the guards have a better chance with the zombies and with the undead than with the barbarians. My bet is we go North Gate and help there first, or prioritize that at least.
So
oh,
just tactily speaking, right now we've got the Southern Gate under control. The docks are to the west, right? So that's the quay side, the fishery, the barge yard. That whole stretch is considered the docks.
Mhm.
So the docks are right next to the Lathander Shrine, where our potential trump card is sitting, wounded, possibly, as well as the two people who know for sure how the Gnomon Guard grenade works, right? Up north, we're being sieged by half dragons, who we can only assume are powerhouses, right? But we received reinforcements from somewhere. I would assume that like
East
those
Gate.
reinforcements probably would have went to the north gate if it was that bad. But
Not necessarily.
even if like the undead have proven to be not very threatening, I'll say, to our party. But even if we make our way up north, we have to go past the docks anyway. So I say we fight our way up north, see what that situation is like, and readjust once we're there.
So I can
'Cause we're-
add for the matter of discussion that the messenger, the individual that came to alert you to presence of additional attacks, is not one of the soldiers that reinforced to the south side, but is literally just
Right.
like a common individual that has taken up a sword in their hand that happened to be coming to the south to basically alert you because they knew that you were down here. So
Then it's-
they don't really know any more at this point than you know in terms of what's actually going on. So the chain of communication is not super good currently, because you got to think that with the amount of time that's passed since the siege started, you're probably maybe 10 minutes into the initial onslaught at the south gate. So nobody knows what the fuck's really happening anywhere unless they're there to see it.
I like Azzy's plan of intelligence gathering. So, like, if I were to say in technical terms, in like out of game D&D mechanical terms, so we could spend like a few rounds, maybe giving a hand at the docks and trying to figure out what the hell's going on before we progress up north to spend more time up there.
It's also to note we can only do what we can do. We need to stay
Right.
as a unit, and if we get swarmed down at the docks, guess where we're needed? We're needed at the docks. And even if we're needed at the north gates, the docks is where we're at, and the docks is where we should stay. So
That's fair.
all we're doing is following. If I'm reading this map correct, we're over here, and we're just gonna follow this fucking road up to the northern town gates, which runs right along the docks.
Makes sense. I like that plan.
Unless he's talking about this gate.
No.
Okay, so it was this gate.
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Can you ping that one more
Well.
time? What you were just talking about in terms of gates?
Yeah, wait, which gate? I think I was thinking of the wrong gate.
This.
So it's
I
the
can
north.
tell
Yeah,
you. This is the north gate.
northwestern.
Yeah, this is north. That just looks even worse.
I was thinking of that eastern looking side, I guess. Because I was
This
like, oh
is-
yeah, that's north of where we are now.
This is east. And then this is south.
Because I was thinking of east might be where the issue. Like, oh yeah, that's like north, and then west would be.
It's
the
just a
other
nice.
gate.
It's an isometric face top-down view.
Yeah. I get confused. They look confused.
All right,
Um,
so the game plan then is we're going to try to go to the docks. That's where we're going to head.
Out of necessity, yes.
Yeah, the docks and working our way up north, up within the docks, I guess is what it was. Like we work our way through the docks rather than just in one spot.
Hmm.
Also, in the interest of complete transparency, I did just realize something that is in the direct path of from the south gate to the waters to get up into the docks. Our stuff.
Our stuff is
It doesn't-
meaningless right now.
Lawful neutral says my stuff is very important to me.
But at the same time, you don't know if the undead like came around the wall
Care?
like this, or if they literally were like, "Hey, we're in the water," the whole time. Also, that blue.
We have no idea where in the docks. That's a good point.
That blue is really not good for drawing on the water. So yeah, you don't
Marching
know.
up like Barbossa's
Yeah,
crew and
You don't
the
know
first
if they
movie.
were like, "Hey, let's come this way," or if they were literally like, "Do do 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 do," and then we're like, "Ah." It's Jaws.
Oh, weird. We got there after all.
All right. So, anyways, moving to the docks. So, as you basically disengage and begin your motions to the quayside to assist the onslaught that is happening there, you hear screams echoing across the quayside as zombies emerge from the mire. Defenders dash to repel the undead, but they seem unprepared for the surprise attack. As you get closer, you see a large undead figure with long fingers squatting over an upturned rowboat. A woman squirms in the mud underneath, trapped by the weight of the boat. You recognize her as Valdi Estepar, the fisherwoman on the town council. So, in the scene before you, defenders holding back other undead in the area, and one bone claw that is currently pinning Valdi down in the mud underneath the weight of a rowboat.
Disintegrate at the bone claw if I'm close enough.
So, I will add the bone claw to the current board for myself to track. Holly, do you want to continue to stay within your bear shape, or are you going to leave that?
Bear.
Be bear. Roar. Okay. Okay, no problem. I just need to know. All right, so bone claw. Adding to the list here. Okay. The 5 of you are now there, running up on the scene. You recognize Valdi underneath the rowboat. What would you like to do? You get to go first before anything else occurs. So,
I blast it with the disintegrate when I see it's on top of a person and not just attacking head on.
so you started blasting. All right.
So hold on. Is Valdi like doing evil people shit?
No, she's
She's
trapped
head.
underneath the
Pinned
thing.
Pinned.
under it.
Pinned underneath a rowboat, basically.
Pinned.
In the mud.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, just want to make sure I understood that correctly.
Yep. All right, so 17 decks. Let's see what we get here. It fails.
It takes 80 force damage.
It takes 80 force damage, and what a lovely hit that was. It kind of recoils a little bit from its pressure against the boat, as you know, it just took a pretty massive shot in the face, more or less. But it is still there.
Also, as a side note, by now the dancing lights would have dropped, and on our way over it would have just been a light onto Azzy's shield, so now it's just the bright light from that off of his shield so the human can see.
Okay, fair enough.
After this giant fucking, bolt of magic goes off and seeing an opening for this thing, Holly is going to, tank in and in her bear form and slam into this fucking thing and just lay into it.
Go ahead. Give it some Space Jam. Yep, that is a hit, and that is also a hit. So, let's see, 23 hit for 11 piercing. Okay, so that's that, and then 12 slashing. Okay, so total of 23. Okay. Its life is updated. It is still alive.
Christ, okay. That's it for me. I'm just gonna latch on to it and not let go.
As
Did
you go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you do 1 or 2 claw attacks? Because you get 2 in bear when you do
No.
multi-attack.
I get 2 attacks. One is a bite, one is a claw.
Mm, I thought
Yeah.
it was bite and then 2 claws.
If it says it on the stat block, that's
No,
only
the-
that.
Yeah, the brown bear only has that on the stat block for the multi-attack.
Oh, and one with its claws. Okay, so claws is considered 1 attack, not
Correct.
1 claw, 1 claw.
Correct.
That was my mistake. I misinterpreted.
Nope,
Okay.
no problem.
Cool. Just want to make sure that our friendly bear Ian was not getting gypped damage. So
Eh, I just do poop damage. I just take a lot of hits.
That's what we get now to someone to take the hits, though, to be fair.
As he is charging forward with Holly, he sheathes his sword and pulls out his new warhammer.
Rar. Are you gonna swing it with one hand or two-hand versatile?
One hand.
One hand.
I'm still using the shield. I don't know if this is doing anything for us, but I like to think Azzy is very much a protector, and he's going to do as much as he can to protect the tank.
Yep. Okay.
So
He's a good off tank.
it's like I'm casting the Blackest Night on you constantly, you know? Let's see here. Warhammer +1. Am I good to make 3 attacks?
You are. Absolutely.
So I have a +9 to hit with this. Oh, 19, so 28. And that's 1d8 + 4. So 7.
Yep.
Well, I'm assuming that the 28 hits.
Yep.
First off.
Absolutely.
Please hit.
So yeah, fucking really. So that's 7 for that attack. A 26.
Is a hit.
Or, I'm sorry, 27.
Is still a hit.
For 10.
Okay.
And a 12.
Not a hit.
Damn. I will also shield bash it. It's considered large, right?
It is considered large.
All right. I'm gonna try to shield bash it off of the tub it's standing on to alleviate some of the pressure on our friend there.
All right.
So that's +3. So 5. Man, I'm not getting good rolls on that.
It is staying put.
Excellent. That will be my turn.
All right. 2 more to go.
The biggest threat here is this bone claw, I take it, correct?
Correct. That is the only real target on the field, let's say, for your party.
Okay, in that case, then I does this look like it's? It looks like it still has a lot of fight left in it. I take it, correct?
Not as much. No.
Okay, I won't do that then. So I
He's
will.
down, I think 118 total so far, unless there was some reductions in there from damage type.
Don't not much care. I will go ahead and charge this thing and attack.
I like maths, so I can count.
Wait, how much damage does it take?
Excluding any resistances.
Not a hit.
I will strike at it once more. Not a hit.
Not a hit.
Okay. That is fine for right now. And I will. That'll be it for my turn. The concentration on the wildfire is absolutely done, depending on how long it's been.
Correct.
It's been more than a minute, then yeah, it's all done.
Yep.
But that's my turn for right now.
Okay. All right. Blackwind.
So my ice is definitely gone, just like Nocris's wall of fire is gone.
Right.
But I still have the stars because I have 5 of those left, and that stays up for an hour with no concentration.
Mm-hmm.
So, but is it safe? Can I safely assume that I collected my snake on our way over here?
Yeah, or that it's simply
it's like-
following you. I mean, you don't even
Yeah.
have to pick it up back in a staff form if you don't want. It's simply just like it. You mentally direct it. So
Follow me.
if you start rolling out, I assume it's gonna basically follow you because you're going.
Yeah.
So.
Unless you want it to defend the gate.
Right.
Nah, I think I'll just have it come with me. No need to retransform it, because that might... damn it, it's a huge size snake. It's gonna fucking freak out the guards anyways.
So are we, though. We're blasting out all kinds
Freak
of
out the guards when they are currently under siege by many undead. Okay, yeah, I guess that's fair.
I
And there's a
mean-
bear just in the middle of town
Yeah,
tearing
I mean-
shit up.
There's just a bear roaming the streets. There's a really big snake. I don't know.
I'm concerned for the mental health of the citizens.
Fair enough.
for the-
Anyways,
Does this count as like me seeing this animal?
Technically, yes.
Oh. What is it? A giant constrictor?
yes. Let me
interesting.
pull it up.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
technically
Look it up. Whoever's turn it is.
has. Yeah, it's
How's
black.
that, fam?
Yeah, just let's figure out whatever you would like to do at this particular juncture.
Blast it.
Yes. So Blackman will, of course, give the mental command for the snake to go after Boneclaw.
Okay.
But then she is going to step 1, sling Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
Because I've got nothing better to do with my actual action.
Mhm.
So roll button.
Is a hit for 15.
Roll 2.
Is a miss. Even if you add the +2, although I think the +2 is already added from your wand or
Yes.
the staff, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, it's up. It's
Yeah,
included in there.
yeah.
I've got it all totaled up now. I fixed it. And then I believe I get one more. Yeah. Yes, 3 beams at 11th. So got too many fucking tabs open over here because I'm trying to track all these different things that come up in rules, and I'm like, no, be cleaner.
I won't talk about how many tabs I have open.
And
Alright,
then
so
there's
yes,
my
a 30 shocker is a hit. And
Oh.
11 points of force damage. You basically shear one of its arms off as it releases its grasp, crushing the boat down upon Valdi. And it falls over onto the mud, where your constrictor snake effectively crushes it into a pile of bones.
Oh, but I was still going to use my bonus action to throw a star at it, too.
Why throw a star when it's already dead?
Yeah, true. I've only got 5 of them left, so I guess I'll just sling a star at the random zombies and shit that's in the water.
I mean, if you want to waste a star, go be my guest. But
Thematically, it's what I would do.
that's
so.
fair. That's fair. All right. So having saved Valdi from the potential crushing impact of the bone claw on the boat, you notice that you hear the bells ringing from the north, and that the signal of the bells denote that the barbarians have breached the northern gate and have come in through the gates. You defeat the undead presence, rescuing Valdi, and the rest of the defenders, they're presently at the docks, rally around your defeat of this large, let's call it like central hero, sort of the undead army, and they continue to hold the docks. You now move on to meet the cultists as they storm in from the north. So I'll move us on to that particular moment of battle. Let's call it here.
I was going to say, and then save that for next episode.
Right. I'm going to set the stage at least before we get there. But so we successfully completed that. We now move on to meet the individuals in the street. So word reaches you that the enemy has breached to the town square, basically breaking in through the north, making it as far as the town square, which is kind of off-putting because of the distance where it's located on the map, but
Yep.
suffice to say, they make it to the town square, and the defenders are in dire need of aid. As you prepare to respond, you hear war drums beating from just outside of town, Suddenly, a bolt of lightning blasts a nearby group of soldiers. The drums reach another crescendo, and a second bolt cracks from the clouds above, striking down onto the town's defenders. So you must now decide, will you go to the town square? Will you attempt to roll out and take care of these drums that are sending lightning bolts from the sky? How would you like to defend?
Lightning seems like a pretty big threat.
I say we continue to the town square. The lightning is a threat, yes, but it's not discerning. It's not doing any one particular danger. Yes, it strikes a soldier down or possibly hits them, but there's not.
They're not
It's
targeted. As
correct.
much.
It's not a very specific thing. Yes, it's a problem, but we don't know how it's being worked just yet, and we have to find that, and that takes time. What we do know is that there is a very real and discernible threat from the town square because the barbarians have broken the gates and moved right towards there. And
Basically through the
depending
defensive side
upon
of their way.
where all of the civilian and sorry, Argo, I didn't hear. What did you say?
And that they seem to just cut straight through the defenders to get to the town square that quickly is rather worrying.
That is worrying, but it's more the matter of we don't know necessarily where all of the civilians and those unable to fight are being located. In my head guess would be somewhere around the town square or in the most easily defensible area, which they are probably heading to. So
It's also one of those cut the head off the snake and the body will die scenarios. You have to assume that leadership is going to be located centrally, and whereas we always go to the town square for our jobs, that's where the council's located. If they're attempting to take off our head, even though we're the heroes here, they're our figureheads. You know what I mean? If the surrounding guards watch the execution of our council members, it'll be bad for morale. The southern wall will undoubtedly hear of it. That will falter. What's left of the northern wall will falter, and even the guards surrounding us will. I mean, it'll be a battle that is already steep as is, become even more steep.
And all of the shrines that could help with people recovering after this are also all near the town square. So, any people that are hurt right now are likely in those shrines near the square.
And it's also a pincer attack at that point. You've got your defenders down at the southern square, or I'm sorry, the southern gate, where we set them up for success. But if they get attacked from both angles, it's a game over at that point. So I would agree. We work our way backwards. We're currently at Quayside, right? Around here. So we're just heading east. We'll hit the town square. More will undoubtedly come, but we've already pretty much crippled the Cult of Talos. So my best guess is this is their last ditch effort. They have siege equipment, but there can't be too many of them. There really can't be. We've torn them apart.
Supposedly. Let's not forget that we also had some of them escape from the very first instance as well with that inn incident that we then owned.
I feel like if there had been more of them, we would have encountered more of that roaming around.
Unless they're smart.
I was gonna say, I don't think necessarily that we need to debate the logistics on that at this particular point. I think it's a matter of, do we want to go to the town square? And it sounds like the answer is yes from the majority of people, correct? Does anyone have anything different that they want to suggest for going towards the lightning drums at all?
No, the only reason I've really suggested the lightning drums as more of a threat is because I was thinking of it as more of a numbers game. Like, if these things keep crashing down, they're going to whittle down the number of forces that we have to spare to protect the civilians inside the town wall anyways. So if the sooner we take care of that threat, the more forces we have to be able to protect the civilians.
Yeah, but at that point it's diversionary because the gate has already fallen and the enemy's already inside.
That's
So,
fair. Yeah, that's
and
kind of why I'm like,
on top of that, it's like we're running past the enemy, you know what I mean? We're going to the enemy's behind lines outside the gates. Like, right, I'm not incorrect in that, right, John?
Correct.
You said that, yes.
Further
So
north.
we'd be leaving the place that we're trying to protect, even though it's right outside the gates. You don't want to go outside the gates of the place that you're trying to protect because if the enemy's inside and they close the gates on you or find a way to barricade you out, then you're sieging your own fucking place to get back in. So,
that's
like,
fair.
yeah, I feel like it's very much a protect your figurehead at this point. So,
Gita, do you have anything to add or say to that, or?
Fire go. brrrr.
Yeah, bears don't speak.
She
Bears
roars
can't
real
add
good and charges
anything.
to the center, I guess.
All right, so then I assume the consensus is we're going to the square.
Yep.
sounds
All right, so I will send us there, and I'll read the description for it, and then we will catch up next week. But all right, so as we now move to the square, making our way through the city in defense of the square, chaos reigns in the town square. On one side, Leyland's defenders make a valiant stand against the invaders, while on the other, fleeing townsfolk clog the thoroughfare leading out of town. Screams of panic suddenly echo through the crowd. Looking up, you see a huge green dragon swoop out of the storm.
God damn it.
So next week, we will embrace Caligniatar, making an entrance into Leyland.
Oh, it's not Old Gnawbone, it's Ebondeth. We all know this.
That's so much worse, though.
Yeah, it really is. Because I mean, I would rather fight a geriatric green dragon than an immortal black dragon that has possessed
know.
that green dragon's body. So
Geriatric doesn't mean much when you're an ancient being of magic like a dragon. It's still super angry and can bring death poison.
yeah, just like real life old people, right? That's what that smell is that all old people have. It's their breath weapon.
Their breath weapon. Oh my god.
Everybody
How many old
knows it.
people have
There
days
were those
because,
originals.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say I'm happy Disintegrate finally works.
I was rooting for you.
Yeah, you
For him
landed
to
it.
say, "Oh, it's saved."
You landed it, and that hit considerably well on that Bone Claw, because Bone Claw had, let's say, what you did was about 3/4 of its life in one shot. So
How much damage did you hit for? I missed the roll.
80
80.
damage. So yeah, you
So
did pretty well. You did pretty well with that.
That's of all your. I think you've cast Disintegrate like 4 or 5 times, and that's the second one to hit.
Yeah, 2 of them were like
Huge
last-
damage, but just missed. Like the
Yeah.
last time you did it was like 97 or
90.
something stupid. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's casting
It was
quite
just
a
like,
bit.
It hit the first time I ever used it back in the first time Marker was around.
yep,
Mm-hmm.
And then I
And
missed
it's a Hagen cave.
yep.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. So, let's see, we got 1, 2,
The
3.
Fantastic Five.
3.
Haha.
Yep, noted. All right, I'll mark that. Tune in next week for dragon shenanigans in the city of Leyland.